Hey, YouTube! I'm trying to think of something psychedelic there, but that literally was 10 seconds, I think. What can I play that's psychedelic? Hawkwind. I am the center of this universe. Time is growing closer to me. It's all a figment of your mind. In the world that I designed. Hey Tom, that's right, Frank. Hey Jess, hey Alexandra. Yeah, so I'm going to have to do a wee bit of work on this one. I basically just stuck it together to see what it looked like. I was dead. Look, it doesn't look mental. It's like so much time can be spent looking at it. You see so much depth, which is there, but I mean, it's like it's got the signed by the artist. This one, it's got. Is it gone? It has. Yes, I've just a wee bit spanky up here. Needs a wee bit of fretty work, but never played the guitar before it got built up. So there we go. I just had to find out what to do. Just there. So just below the 12th fret then. I wanted to see if the pickups are all right. Hey, Brian! I wanted to make sure the pickups and stuff were all right before I swapped in something else or put any fancy switching in it. I'll probably put in... Because it's an art thing, if I've got a black switch, I'll put in a coil split or a coil choice if I can find one. If I don't have one, I'll maybe put in a push-pull for the same thing, just like a coil split to get single coil sounds. The pickups seem all right. They seem pretty good. Ian! Is it past 8 o'clock yet? It's 1 minute past 2001. That means I can start drinking Bucky. So annoying not working. Far too slow. Yes. Hey, Dave Fuzz, I just actually stomped on a fuzz pedal before I saw it there. It was the wrong fuzz pedal. No guitars, a couple of 1978 humbuckers from the Aria Pro. Les Paul when Gibson sued them. Yes, they'll be awesome. They'll be Goto or Maxon. I don't know if there's really a difference in You get confused with Goto and Maxon, whether Maxon were a brand made by Goto, something like that. I'm not really sure. Oh. Ah. Look at that. I didn't put the top on it. I'm getting really nervous to sit on the top of my laptop. Now it's sitting on top of my closed laptop. But I'm going to end up putting the cover back on it every now and again. Yeah, Jennifer Armstrong, J-Pax, which makes her sound like a cool rapper or something. Maybe she's a cool rapper. I don't know. I ain't heard her rap. Got a Jackson Pollock vibe, sort of, but it's like one of those things that when I've got like, see if you compare this to my blazer, which is through next door. It's got like a psychedelic paint job on it and stuff, but it's crap. It's different when you actually get someone who knows about colour and stuff rather than, oh, I found some fluorescent paint, like just what mine ended up like. I still do rate that guitar. Again, it's one of those ones that, how are you going to repeat? The only way you could ever copy this is to literally take a photo of it and print it on vinyl. There's got no chances. There's every time you look at it, it changes colour a little bit. Depends on what you kind of lose the outline of the shape because there's too much going on. See if you stick it in front of a white wall or a black wall, it really sticks out. Yes. So this one, I think, I'd imagine it's come up for sale. This one isn't mine. This is number 2. That's number 1. I'll be moving on to that shortly once I've had a wee bit more bucky. Since this isn't my guitar, I don't want to be pure slammed playing it. Oh, never thought I would say this, but my 1982 Cardinal arrived on Friday. I'm not impressed with it. Really? Oh, what's up with it? My pal's got a Cardinal bass that's excellent. I'll be honest, one of the Cardinals, the shape of it doesn't really appeal to me very much. It's kind of, it's sort of not, it's not mad enough or normal enough. It's sort of somewhere in the middle. I suppose it's kind of like those Yoshi and the Grant guitars I've got. I get used to that though. Maybe it's just one of those ones that you hang it on the wall, you'll end up liking it. But I know, it's a shame you're not impressed with it. I take it is it really worn or something like that? Or is it maybe just really needs adjusted? See if it really needs adjusted, just like all the bolts tightened and stuff like that. You'll be amazed at how much easier it is to work on a guitar like that than it is on a Squire. On a Squire, you're sitting there, you're always fighting chewed screws and bits that don't fit properly and all that. You don't get that in the Japanese guitars ever, and they'll be perfect. Although depending on when it's from, the area, the lowest end area, I think West Tones as well, sometimes don't have good tuners. But once you get up to second bottom of the range, then it's Goto stuff. Sometimes you do things a bit cheaply. Hey, you'll come. Watching on a laptop probably doesn't make any difference, to be honest. With the audio quality that I can output live, you don't really need a stereo, I don't think. Not going to hear any difference. So I mean, I suppose a review of an SX guitar, I think that logo's going to have to go though. It kind of says what it is. So we've got, I think it's bigger than a Les Paul, isn't it? There's a Washburn Idol that kind of looks a bit like this shape. I mean, obviously it's Les Paul-ish, but I'm sure it's wider. I don't have a Les Paul to compare it to. I'm sure it's wider. It's a flat top. It's solid wood. I really don't know. It was black. But anyway, the great idea was around fixing. I mean, Scott were cladding Jennifer's shed that's in her back garden, and while she would do that, she gave me a guitar. I was like, "I want this guitar." I was like, that's great. I was like, I'll probably buckify it. It was just like a black Strat. I'll just I'll bucky it. And it's just like, oh, I'll paint it. I'll bucky it. And it's like, yeah, okay, I go for it. But what's a bucky caster? Like, well, it's like green and yellow and red because that's the colours, of the label. So it's there's probably green, red, and red in it. But I think she got a wee bit carried away quite quickly. But I mean, look at the way these things turn out. She's going through a graffiti phase, and has painted tons of things kind of in this pattern, where it's basically just a big fling of colour. But you end up seeing things in it that either aren't there or are there, but there's lots of depth. It's pure built up, like mad. Like when she first did it, I was like, it's perfect, brilliant. She's like, I've not even started yet. Like, oh, sorry. And then every time because I was going to the toilet and getting screws and stuff like that to do our shed. Every time I walked past it, was like it was just more and more and more. And I don't know how I don't know how it's done. How you mix all this paint together and don't just end up with a big brown mess, because that's kind of what happens when I try and mix paint together. It just ends up being that sort of horrible greeny browny. Just basically looks like the outflow of like a public toilet outside. You know, when you get that sort of green moss and stuff growing in the water that's coming out. That kind of, that's what my things like this look like. Mm. Ah. So how's Sweden? Joachim, is that not? You must be. I noticed when I came home last night before last, it was daylight when I got in from Scotland. So it wasn't even that late. I left. It was like left about 3, I think, maybe a wee bit after that. It was getting light. You must be in the land of the midnight sun already. It's just dull sounding. Took it apart, complete setup. Frets are barely used. Nuts in great shape. It's just not alive. It makes sense. I wonder if that's I wonder if it's never really worked, and that's why it's never really been played. I've got a Fender Music Master bass, which is like that. It was like dents, plenty of dents in the body. It had been moved about, but there was no fretwear and there was no marks in the neck, and it just played shit. And eventually, now once I got to put the proper strings on it, and I think my pal has 20 years ago. My pal bought it for 100, 200 quid. In fact, with its case, no, Victor Morris, so not 200 quid anymore. He paid 60 quid to get somebody to set it up for him, and it still wasn't brilliant. And then I ended up buying it off him. I don't know, but he needed money 6 months later. He was going to take it back to Victor Morris, and Victor Morris, their deal used to be that if you took something back within a year, they'd give you half the money back. So he was getting 100 quid for it. It was like, I can't afford it. Jeez, I'll give you 100 quid. It was like, no, I can't do that. 110. Like, yeah, okay. So it was better than going into town to give it to Victor Morris, and I've still got it. I'll sell it. I didn't want to buy a Fender Music Master bass. And after that, I sorted it. It was just a case of getting, because it's a short scale bass and it need played in properly. And if these things sit, I mean, if that guitar sat for 40 years unplayed, it needs a chance to the bolts to tighten up and to. What you want to do is get drunk and play it, or take it to a party and get, well, maybe not a party, but you know what I mean? Play it hard for a while, and you'll probably find it'll start coming back to life, and then you do a wee bit of adjustments. Give it a blast for a week or something like that. I'm sure you might get the hang of it. I also try the Scott trick with see where the neck bolts go. I haven't done it with this guitar actually. I did it with the Strat. See as it is right now, so it's up and in tune. Undo these 4 bolts just enough, just like a turn or 2 out, so they're just a wee bit of movement. You might hear the neck go, and then you tighten them back up again. That means that the heel, this bit of the neck, this face is slammed against the body, which is better for vibratoriness. Sometimes it's all right, but it never does any harm. And sometimes it can take a guitar going from being to being, oh, now it's working. Hey Daniel, hey X Paps, how's it going? What have I just stood on? Sorry, it's a spanner. Yeah, up north in Sweden, soon in a month, days and nights are just as bright. South of Stockholm, almost the same thing. In 1 month, yes, it's the 20th of June, isn't it? When it doesn't really start to really get dark. Oh, what drink is this? It's the Mighty Buckfast, which I'm not sponsored by, but it would be nice if I was. Then I wouldn't have to buy it. Come on, Buckfast, sponsor me. Sponsor me, get some free stuff. Tell everyone it's great. Well, it's great. Love it. Oh. Is that Child of Zosso? Is that a Led Zeppelin thing? That is Zosso thing? Yeah, it's not been played in 25 years. Yeah, I mean, even the best guitar in the world, if it's not been played in years, you feel it as well. Just with, I notice it with a lot of my guitars. Even from mine not always work. It's never 25 years, but it's maybe sometimes 6 months or a year, and you pick it out, and it's like your strings are gone, and you just basically tune it a couple of times and just batter it for a while, and it starts to go, oh, that's right. I'm not just a piece of wood. I'm a guitar. I'll start vibrating properly. These things happen. It should be worth it. It's worth persevering with it, because a Cardinal series should be proper. It's a proper Matsumoto guitar. So there shouldn't be. Everything should be really good on it, but maybe someone's been messing about with it. You got to remember that even though those guitars weren't cheap, when they were new, you know, they were still 200 or 300 quid in 79, 1980, whatever it is, money, which is like nearly $1,000 in today's money. But in the 90s, when I started playing, they weren't very. People maybe had one. It's like, oh no, it's got it's not got any strings on it. Picked up for 20 or 30 quid, and then decided they would try and adjust it themselves. So you might find it's been adjusted badly. You know, it's like the thing, a little thing like, see, the truss rod, the neck being totally straight, it just kills the guitar. It needs to have some relief. Doesn't need to have a lot, but it needs to bend a bit out the way so there's more chance of vibrating. The strings, if you think about it, when a string vibrates, fixed here and here, in the middle, it's moving up and down a fair bit. Near the edges, it doesn't really matter, but in the middle, so kind of around about here it is. So you want an elliptic, an ellipse, isn't it? The vibrating pattern, because the middle bit moves more. So that's why neck pickups are louder than bridge pickups. Or the same pickup is louder in the neck than it is in the bridge. I suppose it's a Les Paul, so it does have humbuckers, but I've not actually even tried it clean. Both pickups. This one, it needs a little bit of the same you're talking about. It needs played. I mean, it can't be that old. When I'd say that it can't be that old. I remember there being a couple of SGs in McCormick's in Glasgow, which isn't even there anymore, when I was at uni, that had this type of logo. It was an entirely black SG. Everything was black. The pickups, the controls, the hardware. And it had a scorpion in the 12th fret. I think it said SX there, and it had a scorpion in the 12th fret. Everything else was black. So it's probably 20 years old. And the not completed fretwork thing will just be it from new. And I'd imagine somebody's bought this as a learning guitar. They've tried to play it. They've played it for a bit. Not very much. There's no dents in the frets. Basically, it's always been buzzy up here, and it's one of those things. If you take it to a shop to get to fix, it's going to be 100 quid, and they're going, well, £100 to buy another guitar, or I'll just not bother playing the guitar. Not happy with the sound, but the build quality is amazing. And the way you're saying it sounds dead, sounds maybe. I mean, not everyone likes the MMK45 pickups. They do sound like the thing, but I mean, it's a DiMarzio Super Distortion thing. They are very like DiMarzio Super Distortions. If anything, they're brighter. They're very bright and harsh pickups, which might be what you're getting there. But it's like, see, to get like a bright and harsh sounding guitar, to tame it down, bit of tone control, lose a bit of the treble in the amp sort of thing. It's easier to do that than it is to add up. What are you whining about? Don't whine about it. No, it's like sometimes it takes a wee while. There might be something else with it as well. Like, see that Vulture bass? I took it at the studio the other night there, and it sounded amazing. The reason I was kind of always a bit down on that is because it took me 2 weeks of sanding to get the horrible red paint off it, to get it done. And by the time I got it working, I hated it for that reason. Personally, it was a dick. Been a while, kind of almost forgotten that time that it existed. Going, I have vague memories of being annoyed at that guitar for that. I don't remember why I just remember being annoyed, but I don't remember the sore arms and the sitting there in clouds of dust, sandpapering it and all that crap. Your Bender Music Master must be from 1981. It's either 77 or 78. I can't remember. It's the Music Master is before they did Squires, they did cheaper versions. So apparently it was like, this is back when people who built guitars were termed luthiers. So I think it was like sort of people who'd only worked for 6 months would have an attempt to try and finish a guitar, but they would finish off the Music Master being the cheapest one. So it doesn't have tons of inlays and stuff. It's very basic. It's just got got a strap pickup in it with 6 poles with a clear like an EMG type cover on it, so that you can't see that it's 6 poles. It's just a Strat pickup. Saying that, it's a 1978 Strat pickup. It's probably worth £100 or something. But I do like the bass. It's black, unfortunately, which is I'm not that keen on black guitars. That's what this was. And it looks so much. You can just make it so much more exciting like this. I should really be dressed all in black though, and the light's not doing it justice. You get an SX Telly, an SX Les Paul, needs some work, but they're great bones. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's just that whole, if you're churning it out and you get spend somebody time to do the frets and stuff, you know. I mean, it's a it's a £250 Harley Benton straight out of the box and no bother, apart from the bridges in the right place. It doesn't have any of that. So whoever it was assembled this had a rough idea what they were doing. It's not like a guitar. What's that? You know, it wasn't like that. You just get a Westone Thunder 1A for £70. Wow. That's. I didn't think things like that existed anymore. I'm assuming it's absolutely fuck looking. If it's in decent nick, then you just even if it's fucked, it's still worth it. That'll be an amazing bass. It'll be the same as all the other Westone Thunder basses. That's the thing. Someone I'd offer a shot. Well, you need to get a shot of my Westone Thunder, and it's like, no point. I own one. Actually, one painted by Jennifer as well, like this. I got it for doing her kitchen about 2 years ago. I've got one, and all the other ones I've played, which I've worked on, and I sold one for my pal Ivor and all that, and it's like they're all exactly the same because they're that consistent. And okay, there is, they're all different bits of wood and stuff, but they're like, because they're a laminate neck, and it's a laminate body as well, so it's like that's much less different than having one piece body and a one piece neck where there's variation in the wood. If you've got 3 pieces of wood making up the neck, the variations are going to cancel each other out, sort of thing. But they always end up, oh, it's a guitar. Well, there you go, an active guitar. Hey Bjorn, how's it going? Oh, you just appeared out of nowhere, just like you're back again. Oh, glutton for punishment, I think is it. Oh, hey Munters, hey Kit Kats. So actually, Jennifer, I wonder if she's not on. She might not say hello. I think I said it was going on. You'd get to see the guitar played live in 10 minutes. Yeah, just before I started. She's got a Telecaster that she painted Alice Cooper on the back of that looks fucking great. The front doesn't look fucking great. It's just red, and it's like this on the front, Alice Cooper on the back, Telecaster. Just what I said. I saw you, Kit Kats. I was like, yeah, got to get some telly talk in. Seeing as you're such a fan. Get her to paint your trousers and t-shirt a summer style. You could play it outside next to some graffiti like the Urban Ninja. Yes, could do that. The thing is, it's like, see, graffiti. I mean, occasionally you do. I remember when I first started listening to music that was cool. It was Nirvana, and I remember having a Nirvana poster on my wall, which was about fucking 6 feet wide and 10 feet high, and it was them sitting in a skate park, and it had been properly graffitied. And when I was in Amsterdam on the train, you could see bits that were properly graffitied. Whereas here, generally, graffiti means some sort of logo, which you can't really read, which is the guy's name. And then folk go like, Rangers are great. Or like Celtic for the cup. And you're like, there's a point of graffiti if there's any sort of artistic element to it, it's like pure, yeah. If it's just going, Malco, or was it I keep seeing the way down there? Is it your mum something? You're just like, yeah. What's the point in that? I just keep seeing that everywhere. There's just somebody with a tag. Obviously, some teenager buys a can of spray paint and goes about, sneaks out his bedroom window at midnight, and just goes and sprays his like, oh, Josh, with an arrow. Excellent. The point in that. I missed one there. Bjorn again, because he's back. I actually saw Bjorn again. We were playing in what's the bit of Glasgow you would call it, just off George Square, where the bit where the Hugo Weaving's chasing Tom Hanks in what's that film called? Cloud Atlas, which I need to watch again. I I was really enjoying the film up until the point I go, that's a fucking street I used to cross over every morning before I bought rolled sausage going to uni. And then from then on, the film was like pure try to spot places I recognise. Same thing happened with the new Batman film. It was great. And then I started every time there was a street scene, I wasn't watching the film. I was looking to try and see if I could recognise any of the shops. It was the same with the new Indiana Jones film. It's filmed in the just round the corner from the Shawarma King kebab shop. Me and Scott went to a few times. Haven't been back because I got a bad one. Actually, almost went there on Thursday night. What's with the Scream saying super chat? People, Jess basically gives me money sometimes. You can ask a question and I don't know, or just give me money. That'd be cool. I'm not a big channel. All the big channels do it, and they get their it was like, I got a super chat to talk about it. It's like they've got 1,000 people watching and stuff. That okay, I mean, yes, it's lovely. 1,000 people, 100 people give them a $5. That's like, it's like 500 quid they get. And it's like, as well as it's like pure for me. It's like pure. Basically, if someone gives me a $5, that's about the same as what I'll make in a week for everyone watching adverts. So it's almost like busking. Yes. Oh, I might even do requests. Basically, for something that I've missed, you can send me. I don't know what the minimum is, 50 pence, and if it comes up, I'll fucking answer it. I'll spend 5 minutes answering it. But you don't need to send money. Cloud Atlas is a great book. I can't really remember the film. As I said, when I watched it, it was once I noticed some of it was shot in Glasgow. It was meant to be San Francisco because San Francisco's got all those big hills in it and stuff. There's bits of Glasgow that look exactly like that, and I think they were built about the same time. So the architecture's kind of 60s, just between where the Onion used to be. Hey Cassius, what's this? This guitar is a J-Pax original. There's a signature there. It was an SX. You're not going to argue it's not a Les Paul, but it's a bit bigger, and it's not got a carved top on it. Les Paul also got this is the second of the graffiti series. First of the graffiti series is this, which I'm going to move on to shortly. Sitting there trying to work out what kind of scratch plate to put on it, because it's obviously it goes like this in below the scratch plate. So I was looking at I was lying about somewhere, cutting this bit off, but there's no way of cutting that bit off. It doesn't look right. Yeah, so this is number 1 of the graffiti guitars, and I even went for the old. I put a genuine Fender stuff on it, so it's got a 1987. I remember sitting there trying to work out the serial number on the back of this, right, when I bought it, because I knew I bought it. It was like, a guy actually had a sticker over it. I was like, look at it, it says Japanese. Okay, if I peel that sticker off and I peeled it off, and I just see the start made in Japan, like, yeah, done. So, but I mean, I knew that as soon as you pick one of these up, as soon as I felt the neck, I was like, well, it is a Japanese. It is. You can tell it's a Fujigen guitar. So the body isn't. The body on that one was a Mexican anyway, so it's got a Mexican bridge. Hey, Jez, thanks very much. I've still not bought one either. No, I mean, the thing is, these. I just went for the top notch stuff. So this is 2 Japanese Fender pickups, a DiMarzio stacked coil, all Grigsby and Switchcraft and all that. It's all the best of shit in this one. Sorry, as I was saying. So I was looking up the serial number, trying to get a date number. Looking out there, when I went to take the neck off, it's just got the fucking number, the serial number, the date written on the back in pen, like in biro on the back of the block. It just says like 87, January 87 or whatever it is. So there we go. Oh, almost like Satriani, but a wee bit, yes. But nothing like it. I don't know if you can see the depth of this stuff. It goes for miles in the background. There's tons of stuff going on. Really are pretty mental. So as I said, this is number 1. Mine. This is number 2, which is Jen's. I think she'll probably sell it. The thing is, she gets like hundreds and hundreds of pounds for her paintings, right? And that's just a piece of canvas stuck on the wall. It doesn't do anything. This is the same, but it's a guitar. So it's got to be worth multiple hundreds of pounds. The fact that I'm going to make it into a playable working guitar is another thing. But I mean, even if it didn't work, it would still be like if you're trying to get your wife or girlfriend to let you have a guitar in the living room, So what do you think of these paintings? Go to Jennifer Armstrong's Facebook page. I would put a link if I knew how to do it. Scott can do it. Scott can send a link in there. If you go there and say, what do you think of these artworks? You can show your other half these artworks. And, oh, that's really nice because they look fucking amazing. Listen, then you just buy a guitar and go, look, I bought one of the artworks. Yeah. Yeah, you need to. Well, there only are. Well, as I was saying, that's one. This is two. Number three. Remember my wee red bass? I absolutely love that wee red bass. It's no more. It's now number three. So it just normally hangs on the wall up there, and I keep playing it because I fucking love that thing. Well, I got it. Once I'd seen what these were going to end up looking like, it was like, right, I'm just the wee red bass is getting that. This is going to look mental because it doesn't have a scratch plate and stuff. So it's number three. Number four is a Flying V that's been in my garage for ages. I tried, it was like covered in stickers and stuff, and then it was a bit lumpy, and then I was hacking away at it, and then I painted it silver and it looked crap. And when I went over to do the door of Jen's shed, it was a little bit sneaky, and I kind of attached bits of wood with like a piece of wood where the neck would go with a screw in it. I left them in the car. I was a wee bit earlier than Scott. I was like, I don't want to ask you to do it. And I know it's like, I'm the same. Like, see, for doing bucky casters and stuff, I'd love doing them. It's great, but that's because it's mine, and then I can sell it and you can buy what I've done. As opposed to here's an order, and it's like, oh, an order, that means I can't do whatever I want. Oh no, it's not the same. It doesn't work that way. So people ask me to convert guitars. It's like I can't, because part of the bucky caster thing is I've got a free reign. I don't really know what it's going to end up looking like. I start off by painting the guitar green, sticking yellow bits on it, and then start thinking about putting stupid pickups and doing whatever I can find in it, which is kind of how these work. Is that element? It's a live process. It's not just a case of doing a sequence of events. It is a sequence of events, but this event 10 depends entirely what 9 was. Depends entirely. So you wing it, change design as it goes. I wanted to paint one of my guitars. I'm afraid I'll mess it up. I know. I totally understand that. I mean, the thing is there's different ways of painting guitars. To get like a proper factory finish is a laborious and horribly unthankful job, I think. Maybe if it's your only one guitar, but don't do that as your first guitar. Start off with something that you don't really like. I tend to I've got a thing against, see, like the black and white Strats, where it's just black with a white scratch. But I mean, Scott's got one. It's fucking amazing. It's a pure top of the range thing. It's an amazing to play guitar, but it's a black. Maybe it's because my first guitar was a Honor Rockwood and it was just black, white scratch plate. It's just, oh man, could it be? I mean, it's still a Strat, so it's cool as fuck, but it's the most boring thing you can imagine. It can, with still being a Strat, as boring as you get. All white, different kettle fish. That's completely different, but just black with a white scratch plate. Even red with a white scratch plate. It's like, but I mean, just get something that looks terrible anyway, Tom. Get like a, you get guitars at some. I started painting them because I had one. It's like it's had stickers on it, and someone's decided to remove the stickers before they sold it, and they've just scraped them off with a knife or something. So it's fucked. It looks terrible. Then you've got to paint it. I like the idea. I've done a few like tiger ones where I sort of covered it in masking tape. It was a black Hondo bass I've still got, actually. So I covered the whole thing in masking tape and then cut sort of tiger bits with a Stanley knife blade and peeled those bits out as the inverse, and then I spray painted it orange, and then I pulled off all the rest of it and ended up with a tiger thing. And that, because it's sort of the camouflagey thing, it doesn't show up imperfections and stuff like that. I mean, this is, it's got a billion layers of paint on it, so it's not factory smooth. I mean, it's shiny and stuff like that. But if I get the light hitting off it, you'll see, yeah, it's just yacht varnish, basically. I mean, it's solid and it's not going anywhere. But you're never going to, if you're trying to make it black or a solid color and make it look like the factory thing, you're weeks at it polishing. Fuck off. Can't be bothered with that. But okay, it took me a week to get this, but by the time it took me and Scott to run out of wood clad in her shed, which wasn't that big, it was, I don't know what, a 6 foot wall, an 8 foot wall. In the amount of time it took me and Scott to do that, she'd painted 2 of these, and then obviously varnished them later on at night, and I left them for a week because you really have to let this shit dry. That's why I don't have the wee base home with me. I'm going back over to get it during the week. Because I couldn't have this sitting on the wall. Because I mean, they look great when it's just the body, and it's like get the holes where the pickup should be, but I want to see what it looks like with a scratch plate on it. I want to see it loaded up, and it just goes, suddenly it's a guitar. Great. I feel that you can get away with painting on a guitar, but if you do it in a classical instrument, I feel you maybe criticised. But I don't know. It's a psychedelic era, isn't it? I mean, I bet you if you turned up with this, George Harrison's Rocky one, and you'd given him to want to swap, you'd have been like, fucking yes, that's more. Yeah, Jess, but you can do it well. I don't know. I think it's maybe just it's a certain different way of. I'm too impatient. That's what I find about doing building the guitars. It's like once I've thought of something, it's like, oh, what's that going to be like when it's done? So I need to get it done that day, and it's like you're waiting for shit to do all that stuff. Yeah, your Tarpocaster, Mr. Whitesnake, going to happen. So it's like blue with white on it, yeah, or glow in the dark because that kind of comes out sort of like. I have a few Yamaha EG that I should sacrifice to paint, but I do need to scrape the old finish off or just sand it a little. If you put enough paint on, you don't need to fucking sand it either. That's just time spent. I did my actually biggest hitting videos are a Yamaha EG ERG, isn't it? That's maybe a different model. It's like a black Ibanez RG with no scratch plate, and those are great guitars. It's just they're really boring to look at. Painting it a silly color, but I did this sort of. I'd actually tried to do. I did one that was sort of like a tiger, but I so I taped off. It was black, so I covered it in tape, cut off the tiger stripes, left it there, and then I kind of tried to make it go from. Is it white sort around the edge, roughly, kind of doing a sort of sunburst with white, pink, and purple or something. And then when I peeled it off, it totally looks like wizards in a sunset. And it's like it looks fucking great. But that's that guitar, which when the guitar's all done. But the video that I'll get all the hits for is the one when I just got the guitar. I don't even think I put strings on it. Tuned it up, gave it a quick, and then just talked about it for 5 minutes. It's my biggest hitting video. Oh. One of those horrible blue Mustangs that remind you of early 2000 Corsas. Disgusting. It was one of... I like the Bullet Mustang. I thought it was a great colour. Just because it wasn't white, black, or red, which it seems to be. Oh, entry-level guitar, you can have white, black, or red. Whereas that came out, and I think it was like, I can't remember, was it black? It was either black or white was the other colour, or a sort of cool, very much an early 2000 Corsa colour. I'll give you that. What did you paint the drum head? One of my bands were afraid that the paint will just crack afterwards, adjusting the tension like a canvas. Yeah, I'm not sure, something like that. I suppose there's a certain element as well with an acoustic guitar. Like I wouldn't have any issue with painting like a Les Paul or a Strat, but if it was an acoustic, like a cheap acoustic, it's fine. And there's no point in doing it in a crap one. It's not going to play. You know, like your £150 Yamaha 300 or whatever. Yeah, totally. Paint it. Okay, it's going to deaden the sound a little bit and stuff, but not massively. It's not going to be huge, but I wouldn't be doing it on a £1,000 guitar. Whereas I would totally do it on a £1,000 Strat or something, because virtually makes no difference what it's just what it's made of. I don't know. I wondered how you painted that Les Paul. It's like if your tarp is coming out that color, it's like you're wanking too hard, man. You know what I mean? You don't want blood. Basically, blood coming out of your body in any place is not a good thing, especially not there. Yeah. Oh. Hey, it's like I was like, who's MM? That's me. I'm Mad Malco. Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, totally. So I've got 2 new guitars to play. That's what I'm playing just now. I also just back from buying another fucking box of Skull Electrics. I was like, no, I'm not buying anymore. I've got so miles and miles of track and 20 cars, 30 cars. That's what I was saying. I was round at Scottsdale till 3 a.m. the other night. You know, not mad partying, taking drugs and hookers and blackjack and all that. Sitting playing fucking Skull Electrics. It was amazing. Oh, first time you caught me. This first time you caught me. All right, I'm live. What kind of paint do you use? Just this is I've been using the spray paint from B&Q, which is actually for Jen's tell. She goes to car boot sales and has contacts, and she's buying tins of paint. I mean, honestly, out the back, I've got photos. I should probably put photos up. I don't want it because they'll be on her page. Check out Jennifer Armstrong on which page on Facebook and Instagram. But she's got like a table just like sitting out in the garden with, I don't know, 20 cans of spray paint. And it's like, pure, no, that one. Shh. You're just looking at it going, what the hell are you doing? It looks great already. Stop. And it's like, nope. It gets 10% better. And then you're like, now, stop, no, just back again. Like, no, you're ruining that bit. Oh, no, hold on, okay. And every time it's just 10% better. Had an early 2000s Corsan blue. Very good. Stinking. That guitar was spray painted, then hand drawn and varnished. Yes, black. Hello, Paps. Can't check it out. His work of the previous owner. My God, Mr. Whitesnake, but you've got your special tarp and it's all sticky and crunchy and it wasn't even anything to do with you. That's, if anything, worse. Oh. Those over the top pretentious PRS, yes. I've not seen the Durango series, but yeah, I've actually got a Harley Benton PRS sitting in the hall that I've got other guitars to do first. These, okay, I suppose technically. My one didn't have to be done. I wanted to see what it looked like. This one I want to do because this isn't mine. But I don't know. I mean, the thing is, it's like it's thousands of pounds worth of guitar. This as an artwork, and it's going to be playable enough to. You're maybe not going to record your album on it. Well, you could, rather, it's like there's an awful lot of voodoo going on about guitars where people, oh, you've got to use the 57 Stratocaster, and it's like, I'm sure you would know because you know what it is you're playing. You would know, but if it's if it's recorded or it's played live, and it's in a mix with the rest of it, you can't fucking tell the difference. Assuming it's above a certain level, which this is, it's once it's up above the level, okay, it's farting just now, but that'll be sorted. But the notes that work, all the ones down here, it's got a decent enough sound that to the point of I don't really know it's any difference when it's in a mix with a band, even if it's a solo over a mix with a band. Yeah, Jess, I know. Sorry, Jess. I know I was saying I know I don't do any of that, but yes, I mean you can do like a proper factory-looking, expensive. I mean, some of the I remember I still feel guilty about that when you sent me there's a Telecaster you'd done like a mad spalted maple thing in it, and it was like a sort of dark cherry, and I was like, "Aye, oh, it's amazing. I bet it's a bit dark. You can't quite see the spalting the right way." It's like not really thinking, and it's like. Fucking the following day. You're right. I sanded it down, started again. Like, no, it didn't mean it fucking looked amazing, but then when you've done it again, it looked even more amazing. But I don't know. How do you commit to that? The tarp is a tart. The tarp. It's like a hire. You just hire it out, Mr. White. So, that's kind of like don't question Malcolm to do the white splats on blue, yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think as I was saying about that, I think I went back and edited my comment on your video, Mr. Whiteside, because the way I looked at it was like, that guitar looks great. Sometimes when they're done well, they look good. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I actually meant that guitar looks great. When it's done well, it looks great. And it's like, it wasn't sarcastic. So I went in and made it so it didn't sound like I was being sarcastic, saying it was shit. I thought it looked fucking great. I've seen plenty of them not done that well. Actually, I had one. My pal, the butcher, the Forsyth butcher, did it. The guy who chopped up that SG that I got for cheap, which got me an amp money. That was a good guitar though. But he did one, and it looked fine. It didn't look as good as that one did though. But it's the amount of time it takes, and the guy over didn't get any money for it. If you're doing it for yourself, I suppose it's different. Okay, it took you 3 or 4 nights to do it. I can't do that if I'm selling a guitar for 150 quid. 3 or 4 nights work. And even if I got the guitar free and all the parts free, and I've still got to assemble the bastard, but having to sand it, no, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, the thing is, if it was, the spunk tarp thing. It's like you'd want that to be like real. You know what I mean? Might take a few nights, but I mean, I wouldn't do it because I would want it to be real. You know what I mean? It's like basses make much more difference in recording the guitar. A good electric is a good electric, but basses are character that can't be removed. A P bass is recognisable anywhere. There might be an element to that, yes. Although I was noticed when I was using the Vulture in that blues band, it sounded tremendous. It really was. I've tried using it in Black Sabbath and the Black Sabbath band stuff, and it was great. You know, it's a fucking really top notch band. And playing the blues stuff, there was some of the stuff. It was so slow. Some of it was like pure. Kind of that probably even slower than that. And it was just fucking thick. So I even said to us, but after doing the first song, I was saying to the rhythm guitarist, I was like, it just sounds so fat. The guys at Appian, it's probably the equipment letting you down. Like, no, it's a fucking good thing. I'm not touching it. I did touch it. I set all the it's a cheat. I don't want to let you in any secrets, but I was talking to one time I was in with Craig, who's the guitarist in the Sabbath band. I was like, I don't know, the bass, middle, and treble. I kind of fidget with it, but I generally just tend to leave it at 12 o'clock and then work with the tone control. And he's like, I set mine to 666. Bastard. So basically, I set mine to 666. It's like your bass, middle, treble, 666, and then adjust it from there. Oh. It's all about what you got in the guitar. No, not a guitar at the end. I mean, I totally get you, Joachim. Yes, Joachim. Up to the point of the guitar's got to work. Yes. So any guitar I ever sell, yes, totally. If you've got a guitar that like this one where you can't bend the notes, it just needs fretwork. I'm totally going to fix it. No, Clapton's not going to sound great with that. No, but then he's just going to play the same note and bend it down there. But yeah. Yeah, Stu, acrylic paint works well. It does, yes. I can't remember the stuff I've got. I do know there is a problem with see crackle paint you get in mostly 80s area pros and stuff. I've had it before where I've painted a bucky caster, it looked great, and then the varnish or the lacquer coat I put on it was a different type, and it reacted with it, and it kind of turned it into a sort of cloudy with cracks in it thing. So I think as long as if you're using different types of paint, well, these must all be the same. It might be. I'm pretty sure Jen said something that would be an acrylic, and then she goes over it with like acrylic pens or something. I don't know. But there's another type, and if you mix the two, it goes all fucked up. You can mix it to and make it intentional, but if you're just, I've had it bad sometimes. I had Captain's Fool. Yeah, Captain's Fool was it was hand painted though. That's like painted with a brush and stuff. This ain't no brush in this. This is done with cans. I don't know how. The thing is, what amazes me so much is the fact that there seems to be a definite turquoisey element to all of it, and they're completely random, but they look totally different. Even though a lot of the colours are the same, and the turquoise seems to be teal, seems to be very much a part of it. In fact, actually, I wonder if that's maybe something to do with the pieces of wood. At no charge, I showed Jen how to do this. You strip the fucking guitar and you stick this in the neck pocket with a hook in it, which means you can hang it on the wall or a washing line. But I wonder if it's something to do with, see, it kind of works quite well. I kind of want whatever colour this is. I mean, that's not painted. That's just treated wood that we were using to hold up the cladding on our shed. But a neck that colour, it kind of sits in with both of these. And I wonder if that's maybe affecting the colour. It's an experiment. I hope if she's not watching, I'm going to try this experiment. I'm going to paint one of these red, right? And then I'll give it back to her and I'll attach to a guitar and see if it makes the guitar a different colour. Because obviously she's looking at the guitar, choosing colours, not at random, very specifically, but just as an organic thing. But that colour's there in the middle all the time. So I wonder if that's maybe what's making it. I don't think it is. I think that's a load of shite. I'm just talking rubbish. It's just a P-base, Malco. A series of steps. Get to it's a process, yes. Yeah, not move on until it's completed it straightforward, plus about a grand's worth of gear. Well, there you go. Yes. No, I mean I'm not knocking it. I'm kind of. It's more just as a sort of warning because I've had quite a few like kit guitars in that I've bought for basically a tenth as much as the parts cost, and you can tell. Oh, I'm going to build one of those kit guitars. I'm going to build a guitar, and somebody's spent months putting a sunburst on it or something. Still doesn't look great, but it's hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of time. And then they've come to assemble it and they've never built a guitar before, so they're crap. You know, like they're totally unplayable. The neck's not on at the right angle. They're just absolute shit. But they've spent so much time on it, and it's got Seymour Duncans and a hip shot bridge and, you know, Grover tuners and all that stuff on it. So I'm buying it for 50 quid, and it's like, it's got £200 worth of bits on it, and you're selling it for 50 quid. And it's like, so basically we have to just take it to bits and then make the neck fit properly, put the bridge in the right place, and you can end up with something great. I think if you're going to do any sort of guitar-y buildy, I mean, okay, you don't, it's not rocket science. If you've got a Stratocaster, you don't need to know anything about guitars. If that Stratocaster plays well, but you don't like the color of it, stripping it down is okay. I know you get people that can't hold a drill and put shelves up, but I'm assuming you can do that. You know, you can put shelves up, kind of thing. It's not like pure drill. You know, it's like, you know, you can actually do that. Then stripping it down, doing the body, and then just putting it all back on again. It should just be the same as it was before. That's fine. It's when it comes in with you get two pieces of wood that have never been connected. That's a fucking lot of effort. Your best bet for doing, if you want to build a kit guitar, is buy a Squire Strat with some bits missing. You know, it's got a tuner missing, output jack's broken. Therefore it's only going to be 30 or 40 quid. Take that actually, and then practice setting up. If it's got dodgy frets, fucking hack away at it. Thing only cost you 30 quid to start with. So, the frets or some of the frets, have a go at stabbing away at them with a file and stuff like that. And if you fuck it, then you're still going to get a fiver for the tuners and a tenner for the bridge. And, you know, all these things, there's still money in it if you're buy whole guitars. And also, if you're going to build yourself a project guitar, buy whole guitars. Don't be thinking, oh, I'll just buy a body, then I'll buy a neck, then I'll buy the tuners, then I'll buy... No. Just buy a fucking guitar with most of it there so that you've got something to start with. And then once it's up and running, what I should have done with that, but I didn't. I put all the expensive stuff straight on that. Just put anything on it that works, and that's fine. And it's never going to be a bad thing having a spare Strat bridge lying about, or, you know, if it's only got 5 tuners on it, then you obviously have to buy tuners, but you keep the other 5 because you might find you can buy another one later on. It's got 2 tuners missing. You can use up 2 of them or something. I'm sure it is a process. I'm sure it's very satisfying as well. It's just one of those things that I don't really have the patience or the weather or the space to do a proper guitar. I mean, I tried to do Buckycasters to make them look real, and it's like it did look 20% better when I spent ages doing the paint, but I didn't get 20%. I did, you know, it took me an extra twice as long to build. Basically, the whole guitar in, by trying to do a good paint job, took me twice as long to do it, and it was still look shit when you held it up the light under the out. So basically, it was just like it's a Buckycaster, fucking. And pretty much, I would say 90% of the ones I've sold, when whoever it was has come around to pick it up, I've gone, here's a guitar, and they've gone, whoa! They don't look like that in the pictures. They look fuck, because it's just a 2D thing. It's the same with this. When you see it in 3D and you go, but it goes round the outside and it's real, and the colour's not just dictated by the whatever resolution the camera is. You're seeing it in mega, a billion K HD. It's like, so that's what I do. Wait, you've really done 116 live streams? Yes. No. To be fair, I think I've done about 6 live streams. I've done 111 live steams, because obviously I'm drinking Bucky, therefore getting steaming, which I think it's just a British word, steaming, for when you're really drunk. I don't think it's a Scottish word exclusively, but I mean, it could be. Oh. Oh. Hey, Andrew, how's it going? Sorry, I'm going a wee bit behind. We'll catch up. Good gear is inspiring for playing, but that's all about skills. A pro can play the pants off anyone on a shit guitar every day of the year. Yes, you'll come back again. It's just there's that limit for. He wants his 6 strings, and they've got to all ring. You can't have ones that don't ring. But yes, a decently set up shit guitar be fine. Thought it was Sunday. Very confused to see a live stream. Decent gear and a good player is what's required. Yes, but I mean, again, when you say there, when you're talking about the inspiration it gives you, yes, but I mean, there's also there's a hell of a placebo effect in that. I now not so much until I saw that Harley Benton that me and Scott did a video, and there's the Harley Benton Eat My Hamster video. Harley Benton didn't really put me off, whereas now I'm kind of like I'm picking up, just going straight for, right, what the fuck's wrong with this one? Do you know what I mean? Whereas if it's a Matsumoto guitar or something, it's amazing. Oh, it's buzzing a wee bit. It shouldn't be. I can fix that. As opposed to, oh no, they put the bridge in the wrong place, or the frets all over not been installed properly. It's something at a stupid angle. That's not what's wrong with your Matsumoto. It's something else. Catch up in a Monaco Grand Prix. Someone actually sent me a link yesterday of someone had made the Monaco circuit out of plywood. There's different ways of making slot cars, not Scalextric, where instead of having like the plastic bits of track that stick together, you have like plywood and you route out the 2 channels in it, and you put the braid stuff on the track, which means you don't need to. You can basically just make tracks out of someone's made Monaco. Kick guitars only for the strong-hearted. Yes, definitely. I've been chiseling out a new pickup cavity in my Audition. Tremendously satisfying. Sharp chisel. Just go to the pound shop and buy a new chisel. A sharp chisel makes such a difference. But yeah, go for it. Go for it. Yes. But a telly budget kit body. Just have a look. It's now a clock. Right. That kind of tells me quite a lot there, Jessica. I was up here. Oh, no, you know how to build guitars. Maybe you did quite a good job of it, and it's like you've just gone, for the amount of money it costs. If anyone wants a kick guitar, I've got a double neck Flying V. If anyone's interested, a 12-string and a 6-string. I told Civet I didn't want it. Don't buy it. Oh, I want you to build it for me. It's like, no, I'll build you one from scratch. I'll buy a 12-stringer and I'll cut the body out. And then she sent it to me anyway. And it's like, it's just, I don't even want to look at it. You know, it's like bare unfinished wood. You know, no, I want it already to be finished so I can just paint the top of it, or maybe key it a little bit, sand a wee bit off, and then going down to the woods is just too much effort. I tell you, clock would look cool. Any guitar body with a clock would look cool. You've given me an idea. Yeah, well, why not? Yeah, Alberto, nice guitar. Is it custom painted? It is, yes. JPAX. Scott hasn't put up a link to our Facebook page. If I was more savvy, can I do it? Okay, I might be able to do it. Well, I'll wait till I'm caught up. Right, I'll send you a link. She's done tons of shit. Some of them, she's doing painting mannequins. I don't know. She's proper artist though. Great. Kind of made me feel a little bit like an artist as well. She keeps talking about things. And it's like, I totally agree with you. I'm the same. Yes. So maybe I'm an artist. So no. Even when it came down to when I Luthier, I remember going down to see a guy called Nigel in why do I keep saying Coat Bridge? Colville down in Leicester. There's a famous Luthier works down there, and my pal Wayne knows him, and he's happy. Yeah, just Nigel's a bit weird, you know. He might not. I don't know. Some people really, really don't like him. Pure can't stand him, and he might not like you. You know? And I was like, pure, okay. I'm here we go. Right, okay. I'm expecting abuse here. This will be fine. Then we went in to see the guy, and that's Marco. He's like, you Luthier as well. I'm not a Luthier. I'm a butcher. And you can see Nigel go, haha, I like you. And then we're getting great. But yes, it is Alberto. It's custom painted. This is number 2 of the graffiti range. Number 1 of the graffiti range. I'm going to be going on to shortly. My one. But I say my one. Number 1, that guitar. Number 2, this one. Number 3, my wee red bass. Number 4, my Flying V. Number 5 is a Strat. a black Squire Strat, which Scott was actually he was quite forceful about this. And a bit where it had a sticker on it, I think she said it was a Nirvana sticker. She peeled it off and it had taken the lacquer off. And Jen's like, oh no, we'll be able to, if you like, feather the edge of it so you don't really see it. Scott's like, paint it. Do this. It's just like, no, it won't take that much. Marco, strip it. So I was like, I can strip a Strat in 3 minutes if you give me a drill. So up here, bang, there you go, and stuck a piece of wood on it. So I was like, there, fucking paint it. And then Jen's up here, fuck off. And then like 5 minutes later, you can see her going, oh, and Pure getting into it. And then it started flowing, and then she did another one. Yeah, so there's one coming up. Oh. Jamaica, could make it a clock. eBay quartz moving for a few bucks, a couple of hands, yeah. It's going. Thanks, Malcolm. Messaging photogenic excitement from the Sheffield. Knackered. I recently picked up a Westone 83. In my experience, the 83 is a good year for Westone. Once you get to 84, 85, I feel there was a slight element of the bean counters came in. Still, fucking, what will you buy now is a $2,000 guitar. But once you get to 84, 85, they're just not quite as good as the 82, 83 ones. Mine's an 83. I recently picked up this one. That's the original Trust Road cover. Is this something you would have lying around? You can point me to where to purchase one. Someone will make a. I honestly can't even remember what it says. Thunder 1 on it, doesn't it? Yeah. You could probably buy one. I would look at getting a wooden one. It doesn't really matter. It's like anyone worth their salt knows that's a Westone Thunder. If they don't know that's a Westone Thunder, educate them. But yeah, if you go to there's the problem with something like that is it's not the sort of thing that someone's going to make. Or maybe I bet you somebody does 3D print them or something like that, but it's going to be 20 or 30 quid, and it's like not really worth it. I was going to say I could sell you the one off mine. It was a Thunder 1 base. Mine's a Thunder 1. 20 quid. You can have mine. You can just have it. Have the fucking straight off mine. No bother. That's excessively. How could it be 20 quid for a wee stupid bit of plastic? But for 20 quid, I'll just put on anything to hide it. Wouldn't worry about it. Oh, piss artist. That I'm a piss artist, yes. $300 what a bargain. Did you post it, Scott? Okay, if you check in Scott's things, I'll put it. It's like, well, I can understand that, I suppose. It's one of those things when you start throwing money into, hey, Dunk Mac, when you start throwing money into these things, how much you want to spend on it? Because I'm talking to Scott about doing up my wee red bass. I mean, I put in Washburn pickups in it. Well, I changed the bridge because the bridge was a 2-saddle thing. I didn't buy a bridge. I just had one that was like a 4-saddle, and it was like, oh, well, I was having the Music Master actually bass we're talking about. It's only got a 2-saddle bridge. So it's vintage, correct, but I will just put a 4-saddle one on, and then because I'm running this thing through the wee orange amp sitting there, not that wee orange amp, the one that's physically orange, but not actually an orange. It's a Dean Markley, the one that clips onto my belt that I play the wee bass through. The louder you can get the bass going into that, the better, because it's only 3 watt, 1 watt, whatever many watt. GT 1000, 1000 watt. But I was thinking, see if you've got the pickups too high on a bass to get louder, higher, louder. When you hit the strings off the pole pieces, they go pop through the amp. Whereas see if you get one that's got like EMG type covers, when you hit the string off the pickup, it just kills it. It doesn't go bang because you're not hitting off the metal of the pole pieces. So that's why I fitted the Washburn pickup, and it made a huge difference. It sounded great before, but I'm just so used to these. Okay, there's one bass on the wall just now, the black Aria, the Aria which no one's bought. I think it's not that pickup, but the ones that's in the Washburns and the Aria Pros, it's all the same go-to pickup, P-bass pickup. So I've got half a dozen guitar basses that all have the same pickup in it, and the one that I've now put in that has the same pickup. So that I really noticed the difference. There's not really any way to upgrade. It's like your Westone Thunder. Put any other pickup in it, it's not going to be a huge upgrade because it's already a go-to DiMarzio Super Distortion copy. You can get one that maybe sounds a little bit different. You're not going to get one that sounds significantly better, even if you bought a real DiMarzio. You've just spent £150 on a real DiMarzio and put it in, you know it's a DiMarzio, you'll hear a difference. If you didn't know someone had changed the pickup, I don't think you would notice the difference. It's only because you know, because it says DiMarzio on it. So the whole idea of picking up a Fender Strat, going, oh, Fender Strat, oh, an American one. This is going to be really good. Not even played it yet, but because it's an American Fender, it must be really good. Oh. Is that the painting guitar? Oh yeah, it's one of them. I'm going to move on to the Strat. Actually, I'm just going to move on to the Strat right now. Why not? Something different. It's fine. It'll be coming up for sale. Once I've sorted out, I might even be clever and give it to Scott to sort out the high frets, because he likes doing these things. I wouldn't have said that if you didn't think he was watching. I also put these awesome white. I think we were actually on the Flying V that I just got done. White plastic strap locks. I thought they looked cool, so I was saving a guitar for them. It's this one. So this is the Graffiti model number 1. This is signed inside the cavity rather than the back, but it's got a certain madness. And see this bit here on the bottom. I held the guitar up like that so Jen could spray the bottom of it. So I've decided I'm taking 0.5% of the credit for painting these, because if I hadn't held it up, it wouldn't have been painted on the bottom. That's how it works. So 99.5% Jennifer Armstrong's work, 0.5% me holding the guitar up. But another banjo. Oh. The problem with banjo is just like I've got the same with a lot of musical instruments. Banjo, great, diddly-ling ding, diddly-ling ding, diddly-ling, but you're doing all the rolls and stuff like that. Yeah, but the great thing about a guitar, which you don't really get with really any other musical instrument, is after half an hour you can play a G and an A. And that's musical. Anything else, you can't do that. You can't strum a banjo. Obviously, I can, but it sounds crap. I want the banjo to be going, all over the place. Whereas an acoustic or an electric guitar, you can, look at Noel Gallagher, you can not be good at it at all and play something musical. It's not acceptable to me, obviously, anything Noel Gallagher does, but something's, yeah. Do it for a tenner? Could they play Black One? No, not for a tenner, man. £20 was the lower mates rate super limit. £20 plus postage. You'll find one. Someone will sell. Just how can you? I think just set it. It's not a vital thing. You can change it easily without taking the guitar to bits. Just keep looking on eBay. Have a search thing for West Tone Thunder, and they will show up. They will show up, and you'll get one for, I don't know. I bet you if you look on just now, you can get one for 30 quid. So the same thing happened to me. I got a West Tone Clipper, and the guy's like, it's definitely Japanese. I remember. I didn't pay very much for it. It was just the neck and the body and the pickup. There was no bridge. There was no tuners. There was no neck bolts. I was happy. I don't know. Is it a Japanese one? The guy's happy. No, definitely said Matsumoto in the neck plate. I just can't find it. I was like, happy. Okay. Well, and then I looked it up, and it's like the model, the Clipper 6, was only ever made in Japan. They never made it in Korea. So it's like, oh, that's fine. And I was looking up eBay, and it was West Tone Matsumoto neck plate, 30 quid, like that. No, and then after like a day or the following day, it was like, because you looked at, this has just been relisted, and it was pretty much the same thing, West Tone Matsumoto neck plate, and it was like £2.99 plus £1 postage, and you're like, yeah, £4. Yeah, I don't mind paying £4 just for that. I wouldn't mind paying a £5 for the thing that says Thunder, but I'm not paying 30 quid for that. I think only spend as much as you want a guitar to make you happy, and not think you'll make money on it when you sell it. No, the making money on it when you sell it doesn't work. If you want to do that, the best way to make it is up here. Oh, I've got my Squire Strat. It's got Seymour Duncan pickups. It's got £150 worth of Seymour Duncan pickups in it. The way to make your money back is, well, you don't make your money back unless you bought the Seymour Duncans second hand. So what you do is you take the Seymour Duncans back out it, put the original pickups in it, and sell it as original. Because I mean, even like a Squire Strat, you know, say it's a £150 guitar, if it's got Seymour Duncans in it, it's worth, I don't know, a tenner, 20 quid more, something like that. And it'll maybe sell quicker, but it doesn't make it worth any more money. That's what I was thinking. See, we're putting the mad switches in that I put in the Buckycasters and stuff, or before pre-Buckycasters. Putting in a few switches takes me half an hour. It does something. It doesn't make the guitar worth more money, but it's just that we push over the edge that someone might want. Oh, I've been a kid after a Squire Strat. Oh, that one 100 quid. Oh, you know, oh, it's got like a fancy switch in it. That makes it more desirable than the other ones that you can see for the same price. So more for that way. Yeah, cheers to Alexander. I spike the lights. Cheers. Hi. 10 of you who are watching haven't spiked the lights, and I'm sure lots of people have left. Yeah, I mean, it's sick of it. Bad Onions. I mean, I was like, the plan was I was getting this. Up here, as I said at the start, she was going to paint it like a Buckycaster and I was going to sell it. And then it was up here. Then as soon as she started, it was like, well, it's not a Buckycaster anymore. It's miles better. Up here, yeah, I'll just sell it. And then it was like, because I mean, I don't even know what make it is. It's solid wood. The neck's sitting about somewhere. It might be a Squire, something like that. It's full thickness though. And then as soon as it started getting, I don't know, maybe about the third or fourth time I saw it. This is when I was out the back sawing wood and screwing up bits of wood, and then occasionally going in to get drill bits and go to the toilet and shit like that. And by the time I saw it the third time, it was like, oh, I'm not selling that. I'm keeping that. So it looks awfully fucking good. And I was like, imagine what it looked like with a scratch plate on it in the neck. It looks awfully good. But I kind of, I don't know, I kind of like the idea. I was like basically kind of getting paid for doing our, not that it was really that much effort. I actually really enjoyed doing our sheds, but it was like doing that. And, you know, it's basically just hanging about with two of your pals. And you just, it's like, rather than sitting playing Scalextrics or playing guitars, you're doing something else, but it's still fun. And it's like a wee bit, there's an element of being good at it as well, which is like getting to boss Scott about. You know, Scott can be like, it's like you're playing his fancy scales and his diddly, all that stuff. And I can't really argue with that, but it's like, you're building a shed, I can do that. So pure, you go saw this. Pure, quite enjoyed it. Kept apologizing for it, but really enjoyed it. Mine take the bins out. The bins were out this morning. Banjo in a week. I don't think you could. Oh God, yes. You changed your name to Original Recordings by Vintage Horse Racing? Yeah. Don't mention Matt Smoking in it. I know. I felt sorry, but you see, I had a Marlin, the Musima one, and last week it was the same guitar. It had work done to it to make the neck feel more like this, whereas that one was a bit more raw. You know, it hadn't had a couple of hours spent on the frets on it. It still played great, and it was still the same guitar. Quickest way into a bar, get the banjo out. I don't know, just get the tarp out. Yes. I was pissing myself last week with that tarp thing. Quickest way is to open a Bible. Yeah. Get a Bible tarp. And you can sit and go up here. Not there at elementary school. Ooh, fill the tarp. This still needs a wee bit of tweaking. To be honest, I was going to put the original hardware back on this, and it was easier just look at it going, oh, the tuners on it are a bit, one of them's missing. I can drill the holes for the tuner. I'll just stick my fucking Japanese Strat on it. But I've not done any setup on it. Immediately after I've done that, I just went to making that one work. So I mean, it's working. I've been going a wee bit mad Strat here recently. I was trying to make it. I've got a scratch plate I did from it was a previous psychedelic Stratocaster, which was nothing like as nice as this, but I kind of made a scratch plate look like that so that I wasn't hiding as much of the, because this bit here, that was the only way I could make it look kind of like You know, so you could see more of the guitar. Because if you just chop that off, then Scott mentioned Jeff Beck had one that did that, and it looks crap. It just looks like someone sawed it off to make it look like it's kind of not put screws in this shit. But there's something about the madness, and then the thing, you know, I think is what the scratch plate does. It makes it. Oh, that's it. So it's now a mad coloured Strat. It's not, but when you start changing the shape of the scratch plate, or you don't put it on, you kind of look at it and you go, oh, it's a Strat, isn't it? Whereas that, you go, it's a Strat with an amazing paint job. So there's an element of wanting to keep it like that, even though there are interesting things in there. There was also thought about getting a transparent scratch plate, but again, are you messing it up? Like the clean lines, the functional part of this is absolutely spot on. It's the Japanese fucking Strat. It's amazing. And then you get the madness, which doesn't make any difference to the functionality of the guitar. It just looks amazing. But and it also, even you can always paint the scratch plate as well, but no, having it clean, crisp, and I don't know. It's all art, isn't it? I don't know anything about art. I don't understand it. I do have a bit of an opinion on it, as in you can show me something, I can go, I don't like it, or I do like it. I can't go into the element, but ultimately that doesn't really matter. I'm the same with that with music as well. I used to be the same. Now, go up here, what do you think of this? I don't like it because, or if it's, I do like it, I love it because, whereas ultimately the because doesn't really matter. What do you think of this? Oh, it's great. No, I don't like it. That's the bit that matters. Then later on you can analyze it and go, why don't you like that? You know, it's like, it's because he's fucking just stealing chords from Beatles songs. He can't play the fucking guitar. Every song has the same rhythm that goes strum, strum, a strummy strum, 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 a strummy strum, strum. Maybe strummy strum, strum. It's like, that's not acceptable music. That's acceptable music if you've written a song and you've played for 6 months. I've just written a song. I've been playing for 6 months. Look. A strummy strum, 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 a strummy strum, strum. Oh, that's not bad, Dave. That's you're able to play it. Or if you're 4-year-old, that's fine, but not if you're actually. A matching headstock would look bad on it. I know. I don't know about the matching headstock. Well, this isn't the neck of this guitar. Yes, I know. The problem with the matching headstock is having an edge to the art. You'd have to tape it off like fuck before I handed it to Jen. And then there's not very much to work on, you know, and this is like, oh, that is like, oh, another kind of spray paint. Right. It's not big enough, I don't think. But yeah, I think so. I think there's got. I'm not bothered with this one. If it's even just in a Fender, it's like the SX one. It does kind of, well, I'm thinking, I've got some stickers upstairs, like I can't remember what I got in free with something. Well, it's just like a sticker with a skull on it, just something to make it not an SX anymore. Not that I want to hide it, but people are going to go, oh, an SX guitar, look at it. Oh, it fucking looks amazing. They'll look up an SX guitar and it's like, you know, I don't know, second hand, like 80 quid or something. They're going to go, oh, that's not a fucking 80 quid guitar. So that doesn't matter. I'm thinking maybe upgrading it as well. But the thing is, it does have decent tuners and the pickups are pretty good as well. The hardware's all fine, so it's not a shite guitar. You know, it's not the Epiphone LP100, which is actually, in fact, it kind of is. The Epiphone LP100, your Mr. White's Blood Spunk guitar. It is kind of that, apart from, because it's not an Epiphone, it was maybe the same sort of price, kind of 150 quid, 200 quid, but they didn't, it's got proper hardware on it, whereas Mr. White's one has had Grovers put on it. But not really, you wouldn't really notice much difference at putting Grovers on that. The ones that are on it are fine. Mint green for this one? Possibly. The one that came on it was white, actually. This one's a sort of cream colour. In fact, to be honest, this guitar, the scratch plate, showing that I'm not a snob, the scratch plate in this guitar was painted horrendously when I got it, the actual proper Japanese. I mean, it's a fucking scratch plate. Oh, Japanese one. Really? It's like, so this is actually off an Encore I bought in the Barras for a tenner. This actual scratch plate, which I put a black scratch plate on, I seem to remember. I nabbed the white one for this guitar. Well, you really love Oasis. Okay, we're here for you. I know. A guy bought the I think it was only this week. Bought the green Westfield with the extra pickup in it with an acoustic. I was happy. I was out. I think it might have actually been over getting these guitars. I was happy. Yeah, just happy. Oh, I'm interested. It was like 2 hours later. I was happy. I saw the message. Like, oh fuck! I'm really interested in guitar. I'm just from Kirky. I can come pick it up tonight if you want. Give you the money. And it's like, happy. It's happy. Oh shit! I'm out tonight, but the guitar's yours. The guy's like, oh, no problem, mate. And then it was the following day. I was like, I messaged that guy. I looked at it, and his profile picture was a picture of Noel Gallagher going. I was like, that's fine. We'll not broach the subject. So he came round and he was having a wee shot of it. It was great. It was like, he wanted it for camping. Exactly. He wanted it for exactly what it was for. He was happy. I don't want to take my Epiphone casino camping. He was happy his guitars were the Noel Gallagher guitars. Oh, I've got an Epiphone casino. But I mean, you can't knock someone for not having taste. That's really it, isn't it? It's like, how can you say someone's not all right, not decent? Everything else, I probably agree with him. You're probably brand new. Mind you, his pal came in wearing a Rangers strip. Or it doesn't matter, a Rangers strip, a football strip, and you're like, football and rocker music doesn't really go well together. Oasis, yeah, kind of cover that ground. Hey, Big Ped, how's it going? Courier finally delivered that. HB Brian May, short-lived, but HB knocked it out of the park. Smaller body than the original, but I see Brian May guitars also produce basically the same guitar. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was talking earlier on. See about the video I did. Me and Scott did of Harley Benton ate my hamster with that absolutely fucking. I mean, not worth. I mean, okay, Jess could have made a clock out of it. It would have made just as good a clock as that would have. You know, it's like just as good. Yep, totally. As a fucking musical instrument, it was absolutely disgusting, and it didn't work. And basically, if you were going to try and learn on the guitar and you didn't know anything, you're not learning because it was that crap. Actually met the guy, the blues band that I auditioned for. Well, I actually got in on Thursday night. It was him. It was his guitar. So I recognised you from the YouTube video when you and Scott were ripping the piss out of my guitar like that. All right, I'm sorry. You sent it back though. He's like, "Aye, that's all right. I don't mind. It was fucking awful. My God, so it's 16 faults before we got to off the headstock. It's like tuners wrong angle, string tree wrong place, nut badly cut, nut painted in, first fret shite, not bad. It's like everything was just fucking terrible. It must have been 16 for the whole guitar. But I mean, wow, terrible. SX okay, but this picks up so very good. Yeah, I mean, there's an element. It's a quality control thing. I suppose it's the same thing with the Harley Benton. It is possible to get one that's all right because if you randomly if you're just standing all day throwing darts at a dartboard you're not looking at, you're going to hit the bullseye once or twice a day just by standing there. You're not looking at the dartboard throwing darts at it. You're going to hit them. So some of them, the bridge will be in the right place. Yeah, like totally the right place, and the screws will be going in straight. And the frets, when you put them in, they won't need any fretwork because they'll just put them in and they're in and they're done. But it kind of depends on 1 in 100, 1 in 50, 1 in 20, whatever it is that kind of works that way. Depends how picky you are with these things. Picking up a Les Paul Studio custom shop. Grover tuners on the way. Well, felt like the same stuff would be boring. There is a truth to that. I still want. It's an open question. If anyone who does like Oasis, something that's like them off, it doesn't mean I think less of you. I don't like Les Pauls either, but I mean, that's where it comes in. I mean, Oasis has got up here. Well, they did kind of make people play guitars more. So it's probably good for the whole guitar industry. And I suppose you look at it like, okay, they were playing. It wasn't just folk taking drugs and listening to techno, which is if Oasis didn't exist, that would be what they would do. It was like folk who didn't want to be going to raves. They just kind of they like the idea of being into music, but not actually really interested in the music. That's what Oasis were for. I had a lot of those people. I mean, they did. It's not like Oasis were ever shied away from the fact they were big Beatles fans. So a lot of people will have heard real music because of Oasis. You know, they've got up here, what's your favourite album of all time? And Noel Gallagher. Although now I think now I think back, he's up here on the Red album, the Blue album's the best album, Beatles album. You're like, he's saying that, knowing fine well it's a compilation, you know what I mean? But people will get in there. But you should be talented, whatever music you decide to play. Yeah, well, it depends what it is you're doing for music. It's like, again, there's a little bit of this Gene Simmons thing in there. Watching that, I'm not a big Gene Simmons fan because of that Rock School thing I watched where he was talking about it doesn't matter whether you can play the guitar or not. Huh? So you don't need to be a good musician. Huh? Oh, you just need attitude, and it's like, no, you still got to learn to play the guitar first, and then you can attitude once you can play is great. Yeah, totally. You totally need the attitude and the stage presence and the charisma and all that. Yeah, totally. But you need to be able to play. You can't just be shite and do that. But that's not really what Noel Gallagher's trying to do. He knows it's crap. He's playing music for idiots. So I'm yeah, I can just do it and people will buy it. Yeah, I know. Look at how much money I've made. Yeah, I know. But where's your artistic integrity? There's none. Doesn't give a shit about that at all. But why would you? I mean, I'm the best washing machine salesman in Scotland. All right, great. Yeah, I mean that's an achievement. You've made a lot of money. That's great. But I mean, it's not really cool, is it? There's an Irish guy from Cork who's been sued by Harley Benton for being negative about their guitars. Ooh. You're gonna fucking sue me. Look at me, got up here. Let's take his YouTube earnings. 50 quid a month. Oh, right. Damn it. We've already spent $2,500 on the first lawyer's letter. Not getting off me. They're good for cooking ceramic-based haircuts. I thought I didn't like a Les Paul. You're talking about your new one, Mr. Whitesnake. It's not a Les Paul. Your fucking spunk splatter. Bloody spunk splatter guitar is not a Les Paul. That's not a Les Paul. Les Pauls have that fucking neck angle. So you're playing it in the neck's here. And it's weighs the same as like a concrete elephant. And it's when you give it a strum, it's just dead. Completely dead. You're like, right. And it's slash colours. Don't mess with the Germans, it won't end well. I don't know what we're talking about Germans, but no, I wouldn't. Harley Benton. I don't know. I mean, they found a market and they've gone for it. I've said this before. Like, see your West Tone Thunders and West Tone Spectrums. They were trying to do something new. The intention behind that was to make the best bass and the best guitar you can buy. If they were much more money driven and had no artistic integrity, they would have just churned out Strat copies. And a West Tone Spectrum being Strat copy would just be sitting just now at $1,000 or something, same as a Japanese Fender is, because it's the same guitar. They've gone up a bit. They're now sort of 300 quid, something like that, purely because it's got an original shape. That's not a Stratocaster. Jimi Hendrix didn't play one that shape. No, he didn't play one that shape because it didn't exist then, not because it was the best thing ever. I've got a Les Paul I like Definitely Maybe. Am I an idiot? Is that not the song that Definitely Maybe's bumped from? I was over at Neon Tetretons. Free to be an idiot. If ever that is just like, it's a note for note bump of Neil Innes, who was he was in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. He's like the musician guy. Brave Sir Robin ran away. Robbie ran away. Him, that guy, the guy who sang that. But Oasis actually got sued to him because they just totally took the song and just made it a little bit shitter. Basically, it's just fucking identical. The one catchy bit where you go, oh, it's got a vocal line, that song. It's got free to be whatever I want, whatever. That's got that bit. No Gallagher maybe can write songs. No, that bit's fucking straight off Neil Innes's something. Nah, I want to be an idiot. If ever I'm an idiot, sing the blues if you want. That's in there, but the music, it's got music behind it. It's not just crap strum chords. Yeah. Got a Les Paul I like, definitely, maybe. Yeah, well, there you go. I don't know. I mean, that's a taste thing. I don't mock you. And Les Paul's still a guitar. It's still good. That's where it comes, where my thing comes from, the Oasis thing. It's like pure, yeah, there's still music. Yeah, not really. It's like food thing. It's like pure, yeah. Like, so, I don't know. Like Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath would be like a sirloin steak or a fillet steak. And then when you start coming down, you get, I don't know, maybe Kiss or something a bit lesser. It's like a hamburger. And it's like you get to Oasis and it's like, oh, it's a steak flavored chewing gum. There is no nutritional value at all in it. But yeah, kind of, yeah, it sort of sounds. It's a bit like it is music, I think. But music's obviously about expression and artistic. None of that's in Oasis. They don't give a shit. Oh, I like a lightweight bolt one that looks and feels good. Yeah, totally. That's not a Les Paul though, Mr. White. I think that's the problem. It's like a Les Paul is a heavy bastard that says Gibson on it or Epiphone. Wait a year in the market. I think it's already fucking. It's already gone up for all that. The thing is, I'm trying to sell a bass just now. No one's buying it. The area. It's basically, I think, a West Tone, maybe a Thunder 1A. They basically think Thunder 1A, but no one knows about it. It's an Aria Pro. It's got the same neck as Cliff Burton's from Metallica, and nobody's buying it. Like, why? I put it on too cheap. This should be like an £800 bass, and I've got it up for 300s. And I think, oh, how come you're saying that this is better than anything but the really best of Japanese or American P basses? Yeah, it is, yeah. Why is it only 300 quid? You're like, I'm not buying it. There's something wrong with it. And it's like, nobody knows what these are. You're being different. But what? Oh, I'll ask the opinion of the forum. Nobody knows what it is. Play it. Trust my opinion. I've fucking played plenty of basses. That's a fucking proper bass. It's black. See if it'd been yellow, wouldn't be selling it. Black. I'm not 100% sure on the shape. It's basically just a P bass, but it's not different enough from a P bass to be my thing. Kind of the guitar market's a strange one. I mean, that's what we come down to, like, who deserves your Grammy Awards. One of my favourite musicians, artists is Arthur Brown. You'll remember Fire. I want you to bow, see you burn. Ba, 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 ba. That, him, he is fucking amazing, and you don't think he's ever made any money at all, because it's like the opposite of Oasis. It's all integrity and his soul in the music. That's all interesting, mad. No one's ever done it before. It's all that, and then you get something like Oasis, like pure. Well, no, it's designed to appeal to the most people, but people that actually like music won't like it. It's just like, it's really, really, really fucking simple and easy, and you don't have to think about it, and it's really cool. Fuck off. So that music. Hey, also a Telecaster headstock looking bass guitar on TV down it, looked like a real old one from the 50s. Hey, Space Monkey, it could have been an original. The original Fender P basses had a Telecaster headstock. Up until, I can't remember when they changed it to, but when the Strat came out. When did the Strat come out? 55, 56, something like that. So from 52, I think they made the original P bass, which had a different scratch plate, a different pickup, and a Telecaster type headstock. I don't know. Strat is coming. So before it's the solid state amps that will go crazy in price soon. They might do. I mean, I've got that. This is still sitting there. I don't know what to do with it. I've got no. I don't need a 250 watt head. I've got the fucking Softtech, right, which is made from. I mean, let's just forget the fact that they're worth hundreds of money now. They're worth a lot, and it's all hand point to point wired in the inside using ex-Soviet submarine components. And it's kind of a little bit like a Marshall JCM 800, sort of a little bit like it, but hand wired, for a JCM 800 isn't. And I bought it on my 18th birthday for 50 quid, brand new. So yeah, that's staying. I don't need another head. I don't need any of the other amps I've got. But what am I to do with this Carlsbro, which is 250 watts? I mean, it sounds brilliant. Even the distortion channel, which is quite a thing for a solid state amp. Generally, the distortion's kind of not as good as a valve. It's fucking fine. Again, if I'm falling for the snobbery thing, yes, I'm using valve amps. Yeah, totally. But I mean, just because it's valve doesn't mean it's good. You get shit valve amps. I know the idea, but I'll play through like the wee 5 watt, like a Fender Champ type thing. The Harley Benton one, the Epiphone one, and the Granger Valve Junior or something it's called. It's like one knob on it. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't. I mean, it's Valve. It sounds like it doesn't sound good though. You can get a way better sound out of the Black Star Fly than you can out of one of them. And it's like, oh, it's only 5 watts. I'll be able to crank that. No, you fucking won't. You'll have it even in the house. You'll have it at a 1 out of 10 volume, and then you don't have anything else to do. So it's like, no. Oh. The thing about the solid state amps is, again, it's like they don't break. A tube amp, it doesn't matter which one it is, it burns through tubes if you're gigging it and stuff like that, and it's very sensitive to time. You know, like if you've got it in a freezing cold van overnight, and then you're putting it straight up onto a stage and heating it up, it's like they're fucking destroying the bastard completely. Whereas a solid state can kind of handle that. The problem I think I've got with solid states is, like, oh, I'll compare a 30 watt valve amp with a 30 watt solid state amp. Okay, do that. How much is the 30 watt valve amp? 120, 400 quid, 500 quid. I mean, that's a bit oranges. And it's like, pure, that sounds so much better than the Marshall 30 watt, which is 150 quid. And it's like, yeah, it's 4 times the price. You're not comparing like with like. If Marshall spent more money and sold you a £400 one that cost the same as a solid state, I bet you it's better. But nobody's going to pay big money. That's what happened with these amps. These were built Carlton, a guy in Scotland. Everyone loved them, and then it got to the point of, I'm not paying £500 for a solid state amp. You need to make valve amps. So he made a valve amp, which wasn't as good, and put the company under because it's like, well, I don't know. A Yamaha SG from the 70s must have weighed 12 pounds. I mean, yes, of course. I mean, the thing is, the Yamaha SG, even though I like it much better than a Gibson Les Paul, it basically is it's just like the best Gibson Les Paul you can buy. That's a wee bit different. It still fucking weighs a ton, but I don't know the shape. It's so pretty, but kind of the same side. Yeah. Put this list of everything you say through that, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. Sovtek Kaduno, and it doesn't actually say. It looks like, I don't know. You can't even. It says Kaduno there. It doesn't say Kaduno. What it actually says is Siberia, because those letters, although it looks like Cuduno, it's not. It's like a squiggle, which is one of those letters like backwards K, which isn't a K, and shit. So it actually says Siberia. That's how you pronounce it. So it's a Sovtek Siberia. More weight, more sustain, tone ply. I don't know, but some of the guitars I've had, ones that weigh very little, are really resonant and amazing. I remember I was looking at someone was selling the Status Quo Tanglewood for 200 quid, and it was the cheaper one than the one I had, which I sold for 200 quid, which I thought was a fucking really good guitar. But you can get really light ones that are really good. There's more. It's all to do with what you like. Tonewood. It's like Tonewood. Is that what it's like? Tonewood and tarpaulins is what Mr. Whitesnake's into. There's that whole thing about you start looking weight equals mass equals tone. Yeah, well, less of the Catholic ceremony in there, but weight equals mass equals tone. That was definitely the thinking at one point. I mean, it's like you can boil down to. Let's have I'll dig it out again. See, I keep talking about it every week because it's hanging on the wall. So this guitar has the best sustain of any guitar I've ever played, right? Ever. What gives you sustain? It weighs a fucking ton, right? It's through neck. So the strings go through the body here like a Telecaster, adding sustain. And it's the same 5-piece laminate strip that the tuners are on. So those strings are going through the same piece of wood. This bridge has brass saddles and it weighs a fucking ton. You set your intonation, you clamp those things closed, right, on the through neck. It's called a harmonic lock. These are called power sustain pickups. It's got a brass nut. So brass, weighs a ton, through strung, going through the body, through the through neck. All those things are things that are meant to give you sustain. This guitar is the best sustain ever, so there might be something in it. I haven't really come across guitars that have no sustain unless there were something wrong with them or pure shite. But yeah, Tartwood. It's great for guitar picks. It's got tone wood chip in the wall. Yes, but the thing is the shape of the room makes a huge difference. Or what's in the room. I remember our pal Rab used to go to his house. He was always a very clean person. So I didn't need laminate flooring, and his walls would be bare, and it would be like a couch, a seat, a coffee table with a lamp on it, the TV, nothing else. And every time he played in there, it was like playing in the kitchen, pure echoey as fucking all that. Whereas if you've got enough shite to disperse it, there's a lot in it. Play one of those Washburns in '94 about guitar. I mean, that's the one I show to people. It's kind of I kind of always want to have that one. I've got 3 of them though. Well, I've got that's the Falcon. I've got the more expensive one, the Eagle, and I've got the cheaper one, the Hawk. But they're all kind of the same guitar. It really is. I remember my pal Aaron. He was up here. We went in to meet Scott Gorham from Thin Lizzy. Was in Guitar. He was coming down from Gunner Office. I can come in. So I got my jacket signed by Scott Gorham. I tried an $8,000 Gibson Les Paul, like one of your Relic 58 special series things, and it was just not as good a guitar. And it's not as good as the Hawk, which is the cheaper one. And I had the Hawk in the boot, and I was like that to Aaron. I was like, right, see, after this, I'll give you a lift up to the bus station, right? Look at this. And I open the boot. Like, look at that, right? And he was like, up here going, all right, it's not a Les Paul though. It's not, but it's fucking better. There's no way that it's not better. You're sitting there going, oh yeah, maybe it is better, but it's not allowed, because there's so much weight on this / having a Gibson Les Paul, even though his actual Les Paul was a Japanese copy, but it's like there's so much weight in that Gibson Les Paul. Eric Clapton played a Gibson Les Paul and invented rock and roll. It's like, yeah, because they didn't fucking exist in 1965. You couldn't get a guitar like that. That's fucking miles better. Not really. Not right. Also picked up a Toby by Tobias bass. A female friend in the USA plays a genuine custom 6, disgusting well, but I'm a bloke, so I might do it with a 4-string person. Yeah, I don't know. I remember Tobias were one of those companies. Is it musicyo.com? It was Gibson brands. Spike the likes, 21 and only 12. It doesn't cost you any money. Would help me. Even though I don't do things to help myself by putting out videos that are 20 minutes long, regardless. I was talking about this in a video which I've not put out. I do hundreds of videos I don't put out, by the way, in the car as well. I need to fucking put them out. I think my attention span, see, because I'm a vinyl kid, like I like records much better than CDs. Part of that is, see, the 20 minutes or 25 minutes aside of a record, that's 20, 25 minutes is a really lovely amount of time for something to be. It doesn't take, it's not too long and it's not too short. It's enough to get some. So that's kind of my videos. It's not a case of I've got 20 minutes of shit to talk about. It's like after 20 minutes, I start going, right, ready to move on. And 20 minutes seems to be the right number. That's not what YouTube want. YouTube want me to do 5-minute videos or shorts and put them out, and then I'll get lots of likes and stuff. But everyone else is doing that. Heard that Les Pauls are rough as rats these days, and Fender were only the best before they sold out to CBS. Well, there's the elements of that, but that's where the Japanese guitars came in, like things like that. That Tempest there. I'm comparing that to a modern Fender. I mean, they've changed it now, but you are paying custom shop for like a $2,000 or $3,000 for a Fender Strat. So should be fucking good, mind you, saying that $2,500 for a Les Paul, and it's like, I could have. I nearly bought a Les Paul. I was gonna. I got. Had a good job. I'm gonna buy one and pay it up over 12 months. You know what I mean? Over at £200 a month or something like that, and get a £2.5 Les Paul. They must be fucking amazing. I owned that at the time, right? And I went in, looked on the wall, 20 Les Paul standards at £2.5 each, or 2,300, however much they cost. Which colour do you want? Like looking at them, and there's like 5 of each colour, like that. Well, the rarity value's gone. I can't even remember which colour one I tried. And I played it and I was like, up here, yeah, it's up here. The guy came back after 5 minutes and we recorded up here. It's pure amazing, and it's like, yeah, fucking nothing. Nothing compared to that. And 10 times the price. What I paid for the enemy, they're more expensive now. It's like, I mean, but I'm not a massive Les Paul fan. I don't really like the look of them. There's an element of, if you really love the look of something, you'll just learn it, because for years I've been looking at Jimmy Page on my wall with a Les Paul. I need a Les Paul, and it's like I bought one that was really hard to play. It was heavy as fuck. The neck seemed to be coming off here. It didn't sound good. No sustain. It was horrible. But I pure love it because Jimmy Page had one, and it's like that. You get over it that way. It's kind of bizarre. Oh, Bogwood is a thing. Yeah. It's not. I don't know. It's kind of what Swamp Ash is. Swamp Ash, the Great, Tonewood. Oh, a Telecaster, a Stratocaster, Swamp Ash. Swamp Ash is the best Tonewood. Swamp Ash, Swamp Ash for the tone. What were they originally designed to be made out of? Pine. Right, okay. Oh, so the real ones are made of pine, yeah. Why did they stop using pine? That's quite expensive to import pine from Canada. What grows about here in California? Ash. All right, okay, we'll use that. Tonewood is born. It's got to be ash. Telly's got to be ash. Can't be pine. Like the way it was designed for being the best sound. No. Or the basswood, the best sound. Oh no. No, mahogany, ash. Why do you think that? I looked up the forums and they don't agree with you. Don't look up forums. Fucking decide yourself. Les Paul, the iconic rock and roll guitar, but the cost and weight of a piano, no thanks. SG's better than Les Paul. I'd prefer an SG. I don't know. I'm not a massive SG fan though. I mean, I think they're to be honest, they're the best looking guitars. It's when you come down to the Telecaster's the best guitar. It's a little bit like a hammer. It's a bit tool-y. This is the Strat. There's a reason why the Strat's the most copied. It's like a Telecaster with all the bits that stick into your arms cut off. Before me, my vintage V100 Les Paul sounds better than the Gibson Les Paul I once had. I don't doubt that at all. That's when I come in differently with my. I'm not really interested in guitars that are worth a lot of money. I don't know. I mean, this must be one of the best Strats you could buy right now. What, Fujigen neck, original Go Top pickups. That's a DiMarzio. All the expensive shit on it. This must be about as good. And it's got this paint job, which even if you ask Jen to make you one, obviously never been able to copy it. But yeah, I prefer. I mean, there's actually a Les Paul I do like. My favorite Les Paul. No, my favorite Les Paul. Well, it was the same model. Was the Paul Wayne's got a Grant, Japanese built Les Paul Junior with P90s. A Les Paul Junior is not a Les Paul. Well, it doesn't have the things that most of the things I don't like about a Les Paul in it, if you know what I mean. Even like this, talking about Mr. Whitesnake's Blood Spunkocaster. That is I prefer that to a real Les Paul. It's like because it's got the bolt-on neck, which is a better system. It doesn't have the, if you're going to do the going for it really fancy like the Falcon, it's got the fucking hand-carved top, not a machine-carved, a hand-carved top, and all the heaviness, the weight and all that. It's got that, but It's done well to make the guitar better. It's not done to make the guitar worth more money, which is just one of the problems. I like a guitar that was made, even if it's not, it doesn't have to be the most expensive guitar. Even something like my wee Roadstar, RG 130, 140, 135, I can't remember which one it is I've got. The HSS one's a very basic guitar, but everything on it's really, it's designed to be the best guitar you can get for whatever price it, for at this price point. It's like, well, yep. So the object of that guitar was to make the best guitar for, I don't know how much it costs, $300 or something new. The best guitar you could buy for $300. It totally is. It fucking wipes the floor with most guitars. Any price, no limit. That we red Roadster there is better than nearly every guitar in the world. It's in the top 2% of all the electric guitars ever built. They're not expensive. They made lots of them. People don't like them because it's that's not a Fender Stratocaster. It's not. So it's not worth as much money. You can pick these up for fuck all. Actually, my wee pal Liam was talking to me. I gave him a shot of it the other day when he was up, had a wee bit of a jam playing some Judas Priest. I was like, that's the best guitar in the world. He was like up here going, he basically just picked up and went, this is the best guitar I've ever played. What is it? And it's like up here, yeah. It's like 120 quid, 110 quid. Ibanez Roadster from 1986. What kind of pickups that? That's an Ibanez Super 70, the same one Van Halen used. Right? In it already. And it's like, it's got go-to tuners. Why would you ever want to upgrade tuners? You wouldn't. Bridge is the best bridge. It's like, but they're not expensive, but it doesn't matter. The forums don't say it's good. Right, Charlie's, why play something that can rip flesh off your hand? Wheelchair farming guitar. See, then Kit Kat says, you don't get yourself into the situation where you're doubling down on what it was you've said before. Get yourself a telly. Get a shot of a telly, and it'll make sense. And never be the strong position is to change your mind when you're given better information. It's not strong to double down, even though you know you're wrong. Do you know what I mean? No, give it a shot of it, and then maybe after an entire evening of playing a Telecaster, you still don't like it, but you'll understand it and you will know why people like it. It's like other things like Rush. Yes, amazing. I know they are not really my thing. I don't really understand it, but I can see why people get it. So respects it. Our fretboard access check overall looks and feel. The Paul wins. I feel. I don't know where it comes in. I don't know. I mean, high neck access. I mean, it's handy, I suppose. You're talking about the SG. Yeah, maybe. It looks cooler. I mean, the whole reason that, like, so, your tone wood cap on a Les Paul with a maple, so you get the brightness of the maple and the depth of the mahogany for the tone wood. And it's like, why did they have a maple top? Les Paul never spec'd that. He just wanted the mahogany body. It was a flat top. But Gibson knew that they had the machine that carved the top, which Fender didn't have. So Fender couldn't make a Les Paul because they didn't have the machine that did carved tops. Therefore, it got a maple top on it. There was no reason for it. And if you're selling guitars, so you will see people going, oh, the maple cap for the. They're trying to sell a guitar that costs $3,000. That's why they're talking, whether they believe it or not. You can certainly sing an SG. SGs look fucking cool. That my main thing about the SG is the most evil guitar. It suits any metal band or your Sabbaths and all that. But it also, because it's so old, it fits in with other things. It's like the Beatles, and the Doors, and Pete Townsend. They all used SGs. It's the coolest looking guitar. I do like them. They're very, very basic compared to, they're kind of almost Telecastery, and they're two bits of wood nailed together. Apart from they've got the set neck, which is not as good as a bolt neck. I'm sorry, it's not as good. You agree? The Roadster is the best guitar. See, there's a difference, Mr. Whitesnake. Your If somebody trusts your opinion, they're trusting your opinion who's on someone who has a Roadster, who's played one. Oh, you own one, right? Have you played the Fender? Probably, yeah. Right, so you're not. Oh, I don't know what everyone's saying about these Roadsters. They're pure shit. Have you ever played one? No, but I've read things about. No. Have you ever played one? No. I got into an argument with this the other day. It's like, well, not really an argument. On someone had commented when I go up here. You're wrong. You're wrong about Japanese guitars. And you're like up here waiting for. It's like pure. My friend, who's a sound engineer, told me, but his one was, I know a luthier, and he says there's nothing really special about Japanese. You're better off with American guitars. They're better than Japanese guitars. And you're like, what do you think? I know a luthier, someone who builds guitars that knows, and it's like, yeah, I know other people that build guitars as well, but the opinion I've got on them is the ones I've got and I've played. Different. This is my opinion, not somebody else's opinion that you've decided is a good opinion. Yeah, fair enough, it's a place to start. You know what I mean? If someone said to me that I trusted said, oh, you should really try one of those blah, 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 blah. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'll try it and then I'll get back to you and see whether it's good or not. Yeah, totally. If I like it, I'll say I fucking like it. Podtex, that you just turned up. Sorry, I was going to say I missed you. What's the best Roadster or the Roadster? I don't know. Apparently it was a misprint. Apparently it was always meant to be Roadster. And when it arrived at the printing factory, somebody there spoke better English and went, Roadster? That's not right. It's meant to be Roadster, so that it was actually a misprint on the Roadsters were actually always meant to be Roadsters because they're stars of the roads. Whereas they looked at it and go, no, but you get American cars called Roadsters. It must mean to be that. I don't know. I think, to be honest, the best guitar of a lot of them is that era, the 1986. It's Alan Holdsworth designed it. You're going to argue with him. If you're going to argue with Alan Holdsworth, watch any video of him play for a minute and then go, yeah, you're going to argue with him, are you? I mean, as a total lead guitar player, yeah, it's good. Hey, Ian, how's it going? Got 5 count of week. You get 5 Roadsters? Really? Bastard, you get more than me. The Japanese guitars and innovations the American builders took decades to implement. Yes, totally. That's 100% sure. Aluminium, same misspelling. It is. If you're not like me, the Lester Polo is no problemo. I like the look. Took off an S tube and it was wishy-washy, so neck diving had heavier options too. I love them all, man, no matter what. Yeah, but there is an element of, yes, I mean, again, exclude the weights, but all guitars are cool. I'm totally up for trying different ones. I'm really enjoying doing the guy from the Bucky Rage, which I've still never fucking listened to his record, even though I've got a record sitting there. Give me his app. I've got my album. You've got this one, and he showed me CDs. I've got that one. You get. Oh, it's great. There's up here. Here's you it's a fucking the last one. It's fucking in vinyl. I've not bothered Mars to listen to it. I'm a dick. But I really love his approach. Like all the guitars he's got, the Voxes and the Airlines and all that are not ones I would really go for, but I really enjoy them because they're different. It's something exciting, and it's like it's just maybe just looking at it from a slightly different viewpoint. And it's like pure. I want one now. I want a Dan Electro or one of those type of guitars, which I suppose technically can't do like a pure versatile thing. The way the Roadster does everything. This does a Strat. The Roadster kind of does 99.9% of what a Strat does, but it also does 99% of what a Les Paul does at the same time, just by having a humbucker in the bridge and being a bit sleeker. And it's like a Strat. It's like the next evolution in the Strat, rather than making the Strat and then in 1955 or whatever it was, and then it's still the same just now. What happens if in 1986 they kept trying to improve it? The Roadster. There are other Japanese misspellings. Burney guitars. AWMC PPS, $5. Thanks very much. Cheers. You should ask me a question so I can talk about it for 10 minutes and get your $5 worth, but love it. Thanks very much. I'm going to play this guitar. See, as it's fucking expensive. It's not on. Why is it not on? Something. I spent honestly 10 minutes earlier on trying to get the fucking pickups to work in that. I was fucking. It seemed sometimes when I touched the lead, it came back on again. And sometimes when I touched the pickup selector, it's fucking input on my tuner, isn't it? There's nothing wrong with the guitar at all. It was working fine. I fixed it immediately by putting contact cleaner in it, and then you end up with. Mid-80s PRS sold as versatile Fender sounds and Gibson sounds. Well, true, Bill. Yeah, but I mean, you go for it, and it's got the special PRS scale, which isn't 25.5 inch, and it isn't 24 3/4 like a Gibson, like a Fender. It's 25 inch. Oh, groundbreaking. Oh, and it's got coil split, so it sounds 1979 or 1978 it came out. It's 25 inch. Oh, PRS. Oh, it's got coil splits. Oh. So what I'm saying is, are you saying that that's a PRS, but miles better? Look at it. Are you trying to say there's a PRS that looks as good as that? Is there? Fuck. Oh. It's all in your head, though. That's the thing. If you're trying, I mean, there's an element of something. I can't remember what it was said, but basically the difference between all guitars and EQ pedal. If you've got like a 10-band EQ pedal, like an active one with a battery in it, and you've got a Les Paul, and you want it to sound like a Telecaster, if you know how to work that EQ pedal, you can do it. It doesn't make you feel like you're playing a Telecaster, but the sound, the actual sine wave that comes out of it is the same. It's exactly the same. So basically, a good EQ pedal, you only need one guitar. A strap button halfway up the neck. Oh dear. That kind of reminds me of my double neck, which is fucking great, and it balances better than any double neck ever. But I had to put the strap button there, and the thing is, that's only about the 12th fret on the bass. The bass is so you can get up to here, and then you hit the strap. So if you want to go above the 12th fret, you come out the back round the strap, and then come in this side, and you can get the rest of it. But I mean, I'm the sort of bass player where it's like, well, why are you really up there anyway? I do occasionally use it for going woo, but that's really the only reason you're up high in a bass. I'm not. There's only 12 notes on a bass, so there's not really anything up here that you can't do down here. Is my thinking. Do you have any weird guitars that are going for under 100? The problem is X-Pap says any guitar I've got that I'm selling has been set up like a bastard, so it's got £100 worth easily of work done to it, and it'll play like one that costs 3 times as much. That's what I don't really know how to emphasize that because I'll sell a Squire Strat. I'll get 20 quid more than you would, but the guitar you're getting is fucking solid. It's better set up than if you buy a brand new Mexican Strat. It plays better than it. It just does. Okay, the Fender Mexican is a 10 or 20% better guitar when it's had £100 setup on it. Doesn't make it better than the Squire that I'm selling you, which might look a wee bit rough. Maybe it's got some chips in it, and I've been fanning about with the wiring, but it's better set up and plays better. So it's all in there. Just be working on my Honor Pro Washburn Falcon copy. Only difference is Honor is set neck, Washburn is through neck. Yeah, Ian. Only difference looking at it. I'm going to go and get it. So yes, I fully agree that it might look like this, right? Only difference is that's Brazilian rosewood, an inch thick top, right? Look at the figuring on the ash in the back. It's got wooden cavity covers and a wooden truss rod cover. Ebony, look at the inlays. They're not painted on. They are brass rings put in it into an ebony fingerboard. So it's the whole thing about making it look like it. It might look a bit like this from a distance, but when you know what these are, it's not the same. I mean, I don't actually know the model you're talking about. there's a company called Lotus that made copies of it. They were a very popular guitar when it came out. It was the best guitar you could buy at the time. They just disappeared, and obviously they still had. They were competing with a Gibson Les Paul. They were slightly cheaper, not much, like 90% the price of a Gibson Les Paul, but you could buy a Gibson Les Paul, which in the late 70s was literally plywood and weighed twice as much as that and was shit. But if instead of buying that, you'd bought the Gibson Les Paul, that Gibson Les Paul's now worth $5,000. That's not. Is that still a better guitar? It's fucking twice as good, easily, as any 70s Gibson. Easily. It's better than the real Gibsons, the 58. You know, it's a better guitar, better built, sounds better, plays better, everything. It doesn't say Gibson on it. I accept that, but it's a better fucking guitar. It's kind of bizarre. Bolt on nut neck through, plays and sounds amazing. Yes. But it's like the old thing about if you go and buy pasta in like a proper Italian restaurant, I saw a YouTube video of this, and you get like, you know, it's just pasta, just fucking pasta. Pasta's cheap and easy, right? And a wee drizzle of sauce on it, and the guy's eating going, "This is the most amazing pasta ever." And it's like, well, taking a small amount of ingredients and doing it really, really, really well is way better than taking all the world's most expensive ingredients and then put them in a frying pan and I fry it. You know, it's like, that's your Harley Benton. It's like, oh, look at this, that Telecaster I had. Oh, look at this, it's got a roasted maple neck. It's got a Wilkinson hardware, and it's got all these things. And it's like, yeah. So on a spec sheet, that looks fucking amazing. The guitar was terrible. The guitar wasn't, I mean, it doesn't, I wouldn't even, well, once I've fixed up that one, there's just nothing. It's nothing like as good as that. And the other ones are all fucking 10. You know, it's like, it's silly. You went car booting and not an electric guitar or bass in sight. It's a shame, innit? I mean, is older body, possibly even maple. I don't know. The Westone Spectrums are maple bodies. It's unlikely to be maple. I mean, the kind of wood doesn't matter. Make it well out of plywood. It's better than one that's made shitly out of the most expensive world's wood. It's what you do. It's the same thing as you're cooking. You know what I mean? Here's an onion and a bit of garlic, some herbs, and pasta. Give that to a chef, and you end up with something that's by getting the ingredients right, knowing what they're doing. Give it to me. I'm just like, fuck it, put it all in the pan. Harley Benton pasta, using all the same ingredients, but put together by someone who doesn't have a clue what they're doing. Shite. Yeah. You got a Squire Affinity telly from AliExpress. Oh no, you got the cheap brass saddles. Yeah, I mean, okay, you probably get different grades of brass, but yes, why not? Why not? Early 60s Strat with short run older bodies are prized. Yes. I'm not arguing that at all. Is it a better guitar than my basswood bodied Ibanez Roadster? I'm going to say I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. I don't know though, because I've never played one. But as in, I'll play them both, and even though deep down I want the Roadster to win, if the Fender, which is probably worth 10 grand, is better, I will say this is a better guitar. I will know, trying so hard to be objective about it. It costs 10 grand though. It costs $150. Not the same. So how good does it have to be? Honor has brass saddles and brass nut. Yeah, possibly it does, yeah. But I mean, I'm just, even if you, I don't know. I mean, I'm saying that I've played other Honors, but I mean, yes, I can look at it and I see that it's not been as well built. But I mean, it might. I know that you're not paying £2,500 for it though. So I mean, where does it come in? 3 saddles by Japanese plastic, dump all over those things, or about the tolerances and manufacture. A lot of it's about the tolerances, and it's the whole the quality control thing is not, which I was always thinking was like at the end, spike the likes. There's more people watching than there are likes, and people must leave. So spike them. There's an element of that, yes. But that's the same thing you're talking about. Give Jimi Hendrix. What was Jimi Hendrix's expensive guitar? You know, the 69 Strat on it. Give me his guitar and give him that £70 Tempest. He's sounding exactly the same on that. And I'm not sounding like fucking Jimi Hendrix playing his 1969, whatever it was, Fender. You know, it's like he's better. You know, as long as it's up to a certain point where it physically works. And the thing is, you can get to it physically works for a couple $100. You're not going to get it physically works in a Harley Benton. You might get it just works, but it's not going to be proper. Again, give me one to get a shot of, and if it's better, I'll say. But I need to play it and have a look at it to say that. I'm not going to go for opinions from what I read on People I Trust. I'm going to actually look at it myself, see what I think. No yodeling with picking a guitar. Catch you later, Ian. I'm nearly at my bucky anyway. I think I've just smoked a fucking. Oh no, I haven't. Oh, I smoked half it. That's why I'm thinking I can smoke a bit more. Catch you later, Ian. Cheers for joining. Placebo effect. Oh, I mean, the thing is, at Wales, we all suffer from the placebo effect. It's whether you're willing to accept it that you are, which I am. I mean, to be honest, give me this guitar, right? Give me everything absolutely 100% identical. You know, get scientists involved to make it exactly the same. Everything's identical to this guitar, apart from it's black. This one's better. Immediately. Sounds better, feels better, plays better, because I love the design that much. So, but I'm aware of that. I will change my mind. I mean, look at that. I need to get permission off the guy, Paul Gemmell, from the Paul Gemmell Black Magic Blues something that I joined the other night. I'm just replacing somebody who's ill, the bass player, and it was fucking great. I hate slow blues. I did a video a couple of months ago taking the piss out of the blues, going, I fucking hate the blues. It's pure shite. Watch this, and I stuck a loop in, playing over that, you know, your normal blues progression, you know, your A, D, and E thing, you know, kind of going. Taking the piss out of it, but played all over the top of it, because I don't understand why people like this to have fucking joined a blues band. And yes, I get it now. I'm totally changing my mind, and I totally understand what it was. Partly it was a pure huge ego boost going in, and I was like playing along with I was standing at the bass amp next to the drummer, and this band had like a rhythm guitarist, a couple of saxophones, a lead singer girl, and the guy whose band it was playing guitar over on my left. And as soon as we started going, bum, you know, I've just played. I don't really know what I'm doing. Bum. The drummer was like, "Up here, yes!" Oh, every time I looked around, he was like, "That pure." I noticed I've got a friend's request from him, and he pure shook my hand after. Like, fucking, that was a thorough pleasure. Right? Not really aware, just because I know what I'm doing. But I mean, I really enjoyed it, and it was like really, really slow blues, which is music I know. But then, as I was playing, I was channeling what I do like as blues, which kind of covers your 60s 10 years after, and Canned Heat, Cream, and all that. It's like there's elements of it I like. I don't know what we're talking about here. Someone said something about, it's got a roasted maple neck, it's only £105 delivered. Yeah, totally. That's how much I paid for my Ibanez Roadster, which would absolutely wipe the floor with anything Harley Benton had ever done. Even if you gave the Harley Benton to the world's best luthier and gave him £400 to make it work, it's not going to be as good as my Roadster. It can't be. Fasley with a P90 in the neck. I need to buy a Fazline. Maybe that's what I should do with Jess's money. Jess sent me money. Maybe I should buy a Fazline just because I'm pretty sure I could buy it, get it playing, and at least equal my money from it. You can't argue it plays okay and sounds good. Well, that's the thing. You're paying £105 for something that plays okay and sounds good. I'm paying £110 for a Roadster, which is the best fucking guitar in the world. It doesn't play okay and play good. It plays like the best guitar in the world and sounds like the best guitar in the world. So, you know, there's elements of this where it comes in. It's again when you come in with the guy whose luthier said that, oh, Japanese aren't that great. Look at the American ones that up here. Oh, it's like, oh, the Roadster's not really better than this £4,000 custom shop Strat. And you're like, well, there's an argument for it being better, but it cost £100, not £6,000. So, which one's better? Yeah, where does it come in? Between 66 and 70. Oh, I'm going to leave it. Get lost. Between 67, got through about 45 guitars since I wasn't paid for them. Yeah, totally. Well, could you keep 5 strings in terms, or do they work okay with less? 3. I don't use the heavy gauge strings though. I mean, originally it was meant to have 5 strings because the standard gauge of strings was like 12s and 13s. I mean, I've just got 3 in all of them. I'm using 9s now. I used to use 10s, but even with 9s, it's fine. That's maybe a bit of a personal preference. This one I don't actually have. I didn't have it when it was when it had the purple body on it. It's the Mexican bridge has a slightly different diameter. I need to buy one. It costs a £5. I'll buy one now to get the tremolo back in it. Hey, Big Pig, look at that paint job as cool as. What is it that's overlapped over its words? See, I don't want to give away. In some ways, it was amazing watching the process happen. To how much work is involved, but in some ways, it kind of is you're better not knowing as well. So I can't unknow it now, but I mean, yeah, it's like it's. I need to put some proper high res photos up, and I should go to our website. I mean, it's like I haven't put a backplate on it yet. I do have one, but there's so much depth in it. I could try and do that. It wouldn't look like that though. This is one you can look at, and the more you look at it, it becomes different colors. Like on the back, that's yellow. I'm seeing that as yellow and blue. And you see messages written in it and shit. There aren't any, but they're there. But it's like, I don't know, it's something to do with the way the brain works. I see the brain in general tries to look for patterns in things. That's why you see faces in like rocks and in trees and shit. It's that reason your brain's trying to make sense of something. It tries to make sense of that, and you see different things. I mean, I've noticed it says Stu on the front. It's like, oh, it's Stu's guitar. But there's other things, and I don't know. There's just tons of shit going on. It's mental. Listen to Howlin' Wolf. I should listen to some of that stuff. I should. I mean, I bet you it's good. It's the thing I've heard. I inherently don't like Eric Clapton playing the blues. I don't like. It's like I'm just so used to. Maybe now that I'm a bit more. I've heard more music, which is maybe what it was like at the time. Like Led Zeppelin 3, where it's Since I've Been Loving You. Fucking skip. Deep Purple, Mistreated, skip. AC/DC, The Jack, skip. Fucking Rolling Stones, Hot Rocks, one of the best greatest hits albums ever. Midnight Rambler, fucking 9 minute. It's turgid shite. Hate it. Now, maybe I won't hate it as much now, but I mean, how would you choose that? Why would you rather listen to Midnight Rambler than Paint It Black or Jumpin' Jack Flash? I don't understand. Even though I did enjoy playing in that blues band, but I think part of that, the playing in the blues band, which I'll need to stick it up. I'll see if I can get permission to use one of the videos. I don't want to stick it up online without asking the guy whose band it is. And it's obviously it's not going to be a very good. It's not going to be a brilliant promo for them because it's like they're playing with a bass player who's never played any of these songs before. So I'm kind of all over the place. But for 3/4 of it, it's fucking driving, and the rest of the time I'm going, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I got it now. You know what I mean? It's the first time I fucking played it. A couple of years ago, a family bought their kids a Westone Thunder in front of me at a car boot sale for a tenner. They might have learned though. The problem is that, see, even the placebo effect. I had my first bass was the one I borrowed to go into the studio. The first time I was in the studio was a Westone Spectrum, and I ended up buying it for 40 quid or something, and I sold it for 20 quid. Fucking hated that thing because it didn't look cool at all. It looked like a Westone Spectrum. It was a dark red, very, very 80s looking with all the black hardware. I did not like the look of it at all. But I'm sorry, it comes down to the look does fucking matter. It does make it sound different. I know that everyone, there was a thing about people laughing about Billy Corgan. I'm not a big fan of anyway, but said that pink guitars sound better. And it's like, well, if there's something in your mind that says this guitar, if I'm playing a psychedelic solo and something, you give me this guitar, I'm going to play it more on this. I'm going to be better on this than I am on the world's most expensive Strat. That is just a black one with a white scratch plate, which I don't like the look of. So there's an element of it. You just be aware that is there. And you've also got years and years of everyone telling you that a 1958 Les Paul's the best guitar you can get. But be aware that you've spent your whole life being told this. Doesn't mean it's true. Who was it that said that? Somebody thought that. In 1970, someone said that, and it probably was true. It became not true by the time you got to 1980 when that came out. Oh, no, that's only you get that for $100,000. A Gibson $6,000, so it's better. And it's like, doesn't make it fucking better. I'm going to leave it behind. Oh fuck! I'm talking blues. Have you tried mini humbuckers? I.e. Fireball. Yes. It never made any sense to me at all. But when I bought my Yamaha AEX, which is kind of actually not unlike that. So it's like a Les Paul, but a bit bigger, but it's semi-hollow, and it's got and they made sense. Up here, and that was one of those moments. I bought it for fuck all, and I was up here. That's worth 300 quid. I'm paying 70 for it. In fact, I'll buy that. We'll just flip that. And as soon as I started playing it, I was like, this is different. I didn't expect this to be good, but I really like it. Still got it. Fucking love that guitar. Yes, but it depends where they are. Same with a Bigsby. Bigsby's shite. Hate them. Fucking shite. Fucking Bigsby. Fuck off. But actually, like that PV I was playing last week, my pal Jerry in Stirling has a copy of some sort. It wasn't a Tango, but the name was similar to that. You know, not an expensive guitar. It was a big fucking Gretsch White Falcon looking thing. The Bigsby on that, yes, it makes sense. On a Les Paul or a Telly, it's like, why would you want to go at the end of the chord? Because that's what a Bigsby does. A Bigsby doesn't do the it doesn't do that. It goes at the end of a chord. So you hit a chord. That's what it does, which makes sense on a big acoustic thing. Oh, blues is the foundation of rock, so it's probably good to get your head around its basics. Yeah, totally. I know. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, Black Sabbath are a blues band, technically. You can still put some life into it. I like to think that when I was joined that blues band, I put drive into that band that wasn't there before. I kept getting funny looks from people in the band. I got a fucking what was the joke I made? It was fucking great. I had the just proper musician-y folk, saxophone players. I was up here, I just play the song and I'll try and wing it and see what happens. You know what I mean? And then the second time through, I'll probably remember what happens. You know, my way of looking at music really. And you know, saxophone players are just going like that with their sheet music. Going, I was up here. It's only a fucking bass. It's only got 4 strings. I've only got 12 notes. I've got 1 in 12 chance of being right, regardless of what I play. And the two of them are pissing themselves laughing. But I kept getting wee looks from folks, even the girl singers on up here. How do you know these songs? Have you been practicing? And the drummers up here? Yeah, I mean, Malcolm, I've been working for 6 weeks doing these songs. She's like, all right. And it's like, no, I get sent a couple of songs. I looked up a song on YouTube, played along with it a bit. and I get sent a couple of songs, played along with them. I don't think we played any of those 3 songs, but it's like, yeah. So it's on your head a little bit. I had the confidence. I'm super overconfident in the bass, especially with something like blues. The blues, I can do that. So therefore, I could. I had 2 cataracts up to my 2 eyes, yes, and sometimes it's best not to know what's going on. Oh God, I can imagine. Sorry. Bob, who I've still got his fucking guitar. I need to give it back to him. He's got problems with his eyes. The shame. And it's kind of exceptional, but I don't know. Awful. I watched Sam Deek setting up a 3 grand Fender. The screws that bolt the bridge to the body were in the exact same position as the saddle grub screws were in tones. Poor design. Money doesn't make it good, unfortunately. And it's that the spec sheet doesn't make it good. You got to remember that, see, if you go back to when the guitars I loved, not that, like the Roadster and all that, you would have to go into a shop to try them. I suppose you could probably have mail ordered it, but it's not like it is now where you look up the website and you get the spec list and some really well taken photos. Harley Benton's look great on them. The wee Ibanez Roadster, you can look at it and go, up here, what, basswood body? No binding. What, that maple neck's not, it's not roasted. It doesn't have brand hardware. That shit, no. Play it. Take that into Thoman and go like, up here, right? I want a guitar that plays as well as that. They're going to go, oh, give us a wee shot. We don't have one. If they're honest, because they don't have one that could be as good as that. It doesn't matter how well you set up stuff that's not well built. It's like, it's really right down to like pure super. I know it's racist, but the Japanese are pure, so technically accurate to the point of it doesn't. You don't need to be that accurate. The problem is when you are that accurate, you end up with these guitars. That's why baby metal works so well. It's so accurate. It's so right and technically and mathematically absolutely nailed on and played to perfection. It's like it does overall just make the whole fucking thing better. Howlin' Wolf College. Anyway, one of my best players is the entry level Telly T52 for Bentos. After that next Shibbit just performed. You might have been really lucky. I don't know. You just come down to, it's like, I don't know. Have you tried it at FGN? A thing about something like the FGN, which I kind of know, when I went in and tried the one that was in Merchant City in Glasgow, when I saw that one for sale on eBay, I tried it and immediately I knew that one was exactly the same. There's no variation. It's like the same thing as, like, as I was saying earlier on about the West Tone Thunders. Oh, I've got a 1983 West Tone Thunder. Oh, do you? Cool. Oh, I've got one as well. Do you want a shot of it? It's like, there's no point. It's exactly the fucking same. Assuming you've got it set up properly. It's exactly the same because it's ridiculous. Hendrix, I always hated the Hendrix blues songs. Maybe I may just listen to them again. I don't know. I'm older now, it's like the same thing happened when I was like 16, 17, 18 and folk were listening to Nirvana and then the Stone Roses, and it's like, have you heard the Stones? Have you heard Black Sabbath? Have you heard Led Zeppelin? Why would you want to listen to the Stone Roses when you could listen to Led Zeppelin? Why would you want to listen to anyone when you've not heard Black Sabbath? For fuck's sake. It's like, it's just there's a certain amount of opinion in it, but fuck's sake. It doesn't matter whether it's cool or not. If it's good, listen to it. If it does something for you. I've been listening to Budgie. Budgie, If I Were Britannia, I'd Waive the Rules. What a fucking album. It's got probably my favourite, one of my 2 favourite musical pieces ever is a band. I don't even know what the song's called. It's on Manfred Mann's Earth Band, Solar Fire. There's a bit where it goes that bit, and there's a bit in If I Were Britannia, I'd Waive the Rules where it goes bum 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 bum. That 2 of my favourite musical pieces everywhere, and I'd put them right up with anything. But you're not an Oasis fan doesn't have things like that. They don't hear things like, oh, maybe I just no fuck that bit. No interesting bits. Oh, played a rockabilly gig in front of a couple hundred with 3 days practice. Never played it before. Got real drunk and winged it most of it. It sounds very much like me playing the bass in the studio the other night, yeah. The problem is they're going to really struggle next week because I'm going to go in with the confidence ego level of a god. Up here, right, here we go. You kind of came me doing it a little bit because I was up here. I'm not going to play her as a lead. I'm just going to play what they want me to play. Trying to do the session musician thing where it's up here. Yeah, the trick is not to play something really fancy or what you want us to do, what they want you to do. And I think I did that, but listening back to it, I don't think I did. I think I went in when up here. I'm going to play the blues, yeah, but I'm going to play it like Cream Canned Heat 10 years after Rory Gallagher, that driving fucking thing, which I don't think they really wanted, but now they do. That's why the drummer liked me so much. Been living in New Mexico for a while now. Oh. Why would you want to listen to ATCL? Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the Stone Roses were cool and people told you they were good. The one that really got me was the first. I hated all modern music. We're going back to, I don't know, 1990. I was listening to the Beach Boys, 20 Golden Greats, the Shadows, had a Rainbow Greatest Hits. These sort of things. And even when Guns N' Roses came out, I also this guitar solo, Slash's best guitarist ever, and I'm listening to it. You're talking to someone, I didn't know who he was at the time. I didn't even know it was Rainbow. I thought it was Iron Maiden, but you've heard Long Live Rock and Roll, Stargazer, and all that on the guitar, and someone goes, oh, listen to this Slash solo. Nah. What? What? Why do people like this? I mean, it's all right. It's not shite, but have you heard Long Live Rock and Roll? Have you heard? Fuck, you know what I mean? It's like, no, is the answer, but that's what people say. Cool. A Stone Roses fan. I mean, to be honest, I've not heard Stone Roses in years. I didn't. It's the thing is when you're 15 or 16 or 18, whatever it was, I hadn't heard that much music. So why would I want to listen to something that didn't immediately grab me? And because I would hear Sabbath and Purple, and I would hear like Whole Lot of Love. I remember hearing or Purple Haze, hearing that, just going, wow, no, that one, that I need to know that what the fuck's that? Ah, whereas like Stone Roses was like, I didn't have any bits like that. Da 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 da. What's that? I want that, I need that, whoa, you know what I mean? And then you get like, maybe, right, okay. Dun, dun, na, na, na. What's that? You know what I mean? It's like that was the way I looked at it, but maybe once you've heard it all. What's the amp under the Sovtek? It's the Carrollton Maiden Coat Bridge. About, I don't know how many miles it is to get to Coat Bridge. It's less than 10 anyway. Yeah, it's not working. No, it's really annoying. I was going to replace the pots. There's the clean volume and the master volume. The pots are scratchy. Took it to bits. I was going to replace the pots. Instead, I just used a whole can of contact cleaner, and they seem to work fine. And now when I try and turn it on, they don't work anymore. So I mean, the pots, I don't know anything about amps, but a pot's got 3 lugs on it, so I can buy the same pot, brand spanking new, and solder on 3 connections for the 2 pots, and it'll be brand new. It's an amazing amp. Rose's only made one good record and a few singles, actually. I saw them on the Second Coming tour. The one I always liked was which didn't fit in with what I liked. Musically, it's like pure. I was into the the Beatles and Stones and the Who and all that, sort of 60s stuff, and then it begging you that song on the second album. It was like, how do you like that song for? Why don't we listen to this one, which is just pure no, but what about that's the one that fucking I remember them playing that live. They were fucking great. So I'm not dissing the Stone Roses. I'm just dissing the fact that they were cool. Same with U2. If something's really cool and everyone likes it, I'm disposed to not like it. What everyone else likes it, what normal people like it, it's not for me then. I genuinely didn't know anyone else liked Black Sabbath until I announced on this channel that I joined the After the End band. And all these people are going, oh, Sabbath are pure great, but other people like Black Sabbath. I thought it was only me. I couldn't believe that I'd found a band of like a drummer, a guitarist, and a singer that all like Black Sabbath as well. I thought there's 4 people in Glasgow that like Black Sabbath enough to play them. I didn't realise how good they were. Jolene is a better song than the whole Oasis catalogue. Fucking yes. Have you heard the new? There's a new song that's got some guy I don't know, and Slash and Dolly Parton doing some song, and it's like the guy's singing first, and then it's Dolly Parton, and there's a Slash guitar solo, and Dolly Parton. It's like you listen to go, yeah, it's an alright song. And then Dolly Parton comes in, you goes, oh my god, it's like the best thing ever. Dolly Parton, amazing, and Jolene, yeah, I can probably even. I'm pretty sure the last time I played that was on a down-tuned BC Rich something. Why have I got those sounds? Have I sat on something? A student something? I've never been C sharp. Jolene, Jolene, I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Because it doesn't just because you can. Your love is like a running hair. I can see what you can feel, but those doctors can't compete, Jolene. And right in front of half with you, I have to say what's all true, but never gonna take with me, Jolene. Jolene, 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 Jolene. It's a fucking amazing song. Also, is a. Every time in the press starts working, the doors are dark and ambition, I can turn and I can turn around. The doors are dark and ambition, and I can turn around. Working 9 to 5, ain't no way to make a living. I can classify, no taking and no giving. It says, yeah, okay, I'm a bit of a Jolly Parton fan. Not that much. Oh. Jolene is Dolly's only great song. No. The first one I heard that really got me was the one, is it Technicolor Dreamcoat or something it's called? And it's all about when she was obviously lived in a wee hillbilly house the size of this room with 20 siblings. And our mum had made a coat of many colours, I think it might be called. That song is pure fucking, it's pure heartbreakingly amazing. Yes. That's how it was like pure, yeah, it was every love sewed in every stitch. It was just made of all other crap bits of fucking sleeves off all our family. And I'd make this, and all the kids at school were laughing at it. It was like, I don't care what you think. This coat was made by my mum using blah 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 and love, and it's like, yeah, just fuck off. Dolly Parton is the man. Amazing. Hey Jack, now, has ever seen any UFO? I've never seen them live. I know. I don't have one. I do. No, I don't. I'll put it away. There's a. I do like. I know. Well, I got my presents on the line. As I'm playing "Carry Me Home" by AC/DC, which is a song no one's ever heard because it was an unreleased Australian B-side, but it's fucking amazing. But it's a wee bit like Doctor, I think. Doctor, please. Doctor, please. Doctor, please. Please. Oh, I'm playing that AC/DC song now. Begging you. I thought it was supposed to be working. A decent guitarist and the rhythm section of the too. Can't stand the songs on Ian Brown's shockingly bad on record, especially live. Well, it's like Oasis kind of took that idea, didn't they? It's like you get the Ian Brown singing, which is rather than being good singing, it's anyone can sing along with it. Oh, I can do that. I'm a good singer. I'm as good. You know, it's like that's kind of like the Oasis thing as well. Oh, I can sing that song. It's like, yeah, totally you can, because it doesn't ever fucking do anything. It just goes, nah, 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 nah. You know, it doesn't actually try to play along with someone else. I don't know, quite like it. No name intros, not that much, but I did hear. I haven't. Relatively recently, the last couple of years, I saw Bad Motor Scooter on the old Grey Whistle test. Yes, it's fucking great. I can't remember what it goes like now though, but it's great. Aye, so I know that. But Bad Motor Scooter live on the old Grey Whistle. That's Sammy Hagar. I think Ronnie Montrose is a guitarist actually, but it's fucking brilliant. It's a pure one of those things that what the old Grey Whistle test was so good as, because it was live. You did your best song, but it was proper live, so you would extend it a little bit and put solos in it and go really, and you would get a couple of takes. So they've been fucking brilliant. I don't know why it wasn't on. It was never really showed on, like, is it Sounds of the 70s, the TV show that I used to tape on video recorder when I was at school, because it was on in the afternoon. I remember the first one when I got my first video that was my grand's old video, which actually had a remote control on a cable. That's how old it was. I remember taping it, and it was one with Question by Moody Blues on it, Deep Purple, Black Knight, Focus Hocus Pocus. What else was on that? Just that random episode, fucking amazing. Another case of pottery-based haircuts. Loved Ian B storming off stage. Oh, I'm getting a wee bit caught up. He's a Tina Turner. I'd love to, yes. I know the band. Don't really get up your sitters. Like, I can probably play that. Fuck my bitch up. Sexy Ida plays The Best Way to Honour a Woman. Dolly had 2 massive hits. Rainbow. How's it going, Malcolm? Got to download? Yes, I am. You going? As you going to download? Because if so, I'll make a point of trying to meet up, because there's a few folk I know that are going. A guy from up at the top of the street, and my pal Liam is going as well. Yes, I know his name's Liam, and every time I goes, it's not. He didn't choose his name just because it's Liam Gallagher. So he's totally brand new, like Judas Priest. He's not an Oasis fan at all. But every time I see Liam, I go, just a wee bit of a recoil on it. But yes, I'm going to download. If you're going as well, give me a shout and I'll meet up with you at some point. We're in Camp Beverly Hills. The Acid Queen. I wish I could play that. So I'm fucking. I used to be able to play. We don't need. For some reason, I think it's F sharp. No. Ready for the titty cream. Talking about it loud and the 10 days. Call it not good. Not good. Not good. I can't remember it. I don't want to fucking take the piss out of their songs. I'm a huge Tina Turner is awesome though. Running with Trolls was really cool. Just going taking the bus from Buchanan on the Monday of the week. Wow. Yeah, totally. As you send me your phone number on the Mad Malco guitar page, and I'll make a point of meeting up with folk. Because the thing is, I was saying this before to my pal Liam, so up here, I've never been down at Download and met anyone I know. I even wore a Mad Malco t-shirt, not last year, the year before, thinking someone's going to go, oh, no, you're from YouTube, like, fame. Didn't happen, bastards. But yeah, totally, I'll make a point of it. We've also, as I said, we're in Camp Beverly Hills. We're in the disabled campsite. So I know other people that are going, 2 lots of people coming down from Scotland and other people that are pals with I went to last year but can't get into the disabled campsite. We're going to set up a thing outside the disabled campsite, which is basically, see, when you leave the entrance and you walk to the normal campsite, about 100 yards past the entrance, there's a bit, and we're going to fucking be right up against the fence, and we'll have deck chairs and guitars and shit sitting out in the open bit that everyone can get into, and you're all welcome to join in. And you'll get to play the wee red bass, which is now no longer red. It's painted kind of like this, but completely different from this, but kind of like this. Yes. A badge. Right on. Right on. I don't know what a badge is either. The last time I saw Down was called Monsters of Rock. Wow. I wish they'd call it that. I wish it was called Castle Donington. Genuinely, the first time I went to Download, my pal Wayne used to be the bin man down there, so I got a free ticket. Basically drove down. Because he was the bin man for one of the farmers, or all the farmers around a bit, they rented out their field for car parking and got given free VIP passes. So what the year I went down, it was like the Saturday I went down on that, and it's like, because he knew the farmer, it was like a VIP pass. And he's like, oh, 60 years old, doesn't give a shit about metal music. So it's like, yeah, of course you can have them. The bin man who I like and get on well with. So I went down there, and I actually had on the other side. So basically we had a field and then the car park and then the bridge going into the festival. So if you came on the way out, it was like pure car park, an empty field, the farm, my Fiat Panda sitting in a field that was about a mile square on my own, just sleeping in the car. And it was fucking amazing. Yes. So but I didn't know when we were walking down went to the festival. It was like, we took us ages to get in there. We get directed for a 2-hour walk and all that shit, having to walk around in this road that didn't have a pavement. We walked down, and I was like walking down going, this is where fucking Thunderstruck live at Donington was. And Wayne's like, pure, yeah, obviously it's Donington. It's Donington. This is the Monsters of Rock Fest. I didn't know. And I was there fucking walking down going, I was like, this is where the Thunderstruck thing was filmed. And I remember seeing Thunderstruck. First time I saw that, it absolutely blew my mind. I couldn't believe there was other people that heard what I heard in music. Because obviously Thunderstruck is, I'm not doing it on a Strat, it's not going to hit it, but you know what I mean? Thunder! 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 That, I've never actually been able to play that before. I've not tried for years, but that Thunderstruck absolutely blew my mind the first time I saw that. Because it was just that whole... It's like you could... And it's like pure when it starts goes... that bit, and you see the whole crowd go like that. It's like, fuck. I'd seen crowds react like that, but I didn't know. I've never seen a crowd react like that. And this is like, we've got to remember that was this must be about 1995 or something. So it was kind of current. It was like 1991 or something. So it's only, oh my god, there's other people like me in the world. I couldn't believe it wasn't just me. Because I remember first time I thought Thunderstruck. It was like, I don't know, I mean, my pals, you know, like 16 or something, I was sitting about, you know, having karaoke and stuff like that. Oh, that's quite a good song. And I'm just lying there like that. This, why don't I know? Why is this? What, this, like, that was my reaction pretty much. Still fucking amazing. Yeah, totally. No, send me that. I'll make a WhatsApp group, right? Or do you know how to do? How do you have to make? if you're on WhatsApp, if you can show me how to, if you can set up a WhatsApp group called Scottish Folk at Download, I'll fucking add it. The other folk I know that are down, and we'll just make a point of trying to. I know it's kind of thing. It's not being racist, but the thing is that see down at Download, see being Scottish, right, which is a curse in itself. Meeting anyone Scottish is up here, how's it going? Big hug, just because they sound like me. Welsh people, because they sound like me. Irish people, because they sound like me. It's a funny, it's a weird thing. Not that I don't like everyone. I've met tons of English pals. Well, the folk I'm going down with are English, and that's not the point. No. It's just there's something about meeting a Welsh person going, all right, how's it going? And they're just like, yeah, here we go. It's a bizarre thing. But yes, no, totally do that. Thunderstruck, no need to play it. Do some Earth, Wind, and Fire. Scott said I should stay in his camper. Don't make him come down there. B-A-E. I take it that's a chord. I mean, the thing is, I used to be able to play it a little bit. It's possible to sing it, but I've never actually been fast enough to go because it's all picks in it. Thunderstorm. No, it's that version. The fact that it just starts off with a. Then you get Chris Slade coming in, the bald drummer, with his two kick drums up there. So rather than just having thunder, he's got thunder. Amazing. Oh. Yes, no, it's fucking amazing. Thanks for a bit. Next time, if you just text me, I'll see if did I get a message from you. Just get followed by Jennifer Armstrong, who did these. Jennifer Armstrong, you want to check out? I'm shite at this. I don't even know. Would it be in messages? Did you send it to me? Fucking totes, Ivor. Not neither of you. I'm shite at technology. I must have talked to you on thingy before. Download Ivor Wayne. Not you, no. We'll work it out. I'll get it when I've not had a bottle of Bucky, but we'll totally make a point of it. Just have it as like an open thing. If we've got like there's four, so it would be you and whoever you're with, Cameron and Liam and us. And just, it's not like a case of, we'll all meet up here. It's just like, we're going to see blah, blah, blah. We're going to be at the right-hand side of the site. That kind of thing. It'd be cool just to have other folk kicking about. I'm not wanting to sneak away doing personal, but I mean, we've got Harlan's that booze going and we can get it in fucking free. We're not paying any shit. Wayne said earlier on he was soaking his clothes. And I was like, up here, what? Soaking them in booze? That's an idea. It's up here, just turn up with a pure soaking t-shirt. Like, up here, I've not got any booze. It's up here, you want a vodka up here? You know what I mean? There's some clever in it. You just up here, and eventually it just comes to just sucking on a t-shirt. Catch you later, Mr. Whitesnake. Don't wear that tarp out. I have to say that it becomes less impressive if you're just covering the tarp yourself. I don't know if it counts as a proper bukkake if you're the only one involved. More of a spunk rag than a bukkake tarpaulin. But I mean, you never know. 500 miles, ah? When I wake up, I'm gonna come right next to you. I'm a haver. I'm never gonna be. I'm gonna be. What I would want. Tarp damping. You sent it to me on Messenger, FB Messenger. I'm sure you did. I'm drunk though. Did you send it to Mad Malco Guitars? I need to change things then. There. Mad Malco Guitars. You're on the list though. I will work it out if anyone else is going. All right, okay, got you now. I didn't know your name was Cat. I just know you as Eyes for You. I'm just going to call you Eyes for You. Got you. Cool. So I will work out. What do I do? I'm just sending you in Messenger. Is that the right way of doing it? I don't even know. Here. Yeah, go. I've sent you a thing. So if you can set that up, that'd be awesome. That sucking booze out your clothes, the running joke in Spike Milligan. I don't know. I don't really know that much Spike Milligan. I know he's funny though. Bring my hip flask and kilt. Well, I'm genuinely thinking if there's any way of getting a hold of an actual proper colostomy bag, but not one that's been used before. So basically, I can just have 2 liters of bucky sellotape to the inside of my thigh with like pipes and shit coming out. And I'll just basically stick the pipes going in there and then put a plaster over it. But up here, you don't want to know about that. No, it's up here. It's a colostomy bag, but it's actually bucky, and I can be able to, yeah. There'll be somewhere working it out. Play some WCDC. Donington 84, best ever ACDC, Van Halen, Ozzy, Gary Moore, and YT. Is 84 no, it's 81 was the year that Ozzy didn't turn up and Slade played instead. Yeah, proper. The pal Wayne was at that because he lives fucking 4 miles away from the place. So he was at these ones. And Saxon with and the band's played on, even wrote a song about it. And the band began to play. Oh, and the dance on to dream. That one, when everyone thought that they'd played, there's a plane went over when they were playing 747 Strangers in the Night, and everyone was up here, whoa, it was just by total chance. Got a 747 coming down in the night. No landing gear, no running lights. Radio operator, try to get a message through, cause we were strangers in the night. Both on separate flights. Strangers in the night. Going nowhere. This is Scandinavian 101. Bang, bang, coming back from the sun. Radio, you should be inside. For God's sake, turn the ground lights on, cause we were strangers in the night. Both on separate flights. Strangers in the night. Oh, fucking love it. Yes. But that's really made me start feeling really drunk. I'm gonna have to try and finish my bucky. It's not. So that's 11 o'clock. I'm gonna have another fag, and then I'm gonna give up. Remember, my employer wanted visit that Big Country. I think I visited concert. And they were good. Anyone know what happened to the band? It was mid-80s. They did. There's a film called Restless Natives, which is where I know them from. I know. I'd actually Restless Natives, ultimate film about Scotland. Yes, no, they're amazing. I can't play it though. They did a lot of sort of bagpipe sounding, Yamaha SG guitar sounding. It's one of those ones that I can't work it out, but one of these times I'll try it. I'll be able to do it. Oh. I can't get enough of the notes right. I've played it before, it was alright, but your Local Hero and Restless Natives. Restless Natives is better, but Local Hero is still fucking great. Makes me cry. Both of those films, full tears at the end. Both of them. The bit in at the end of Restless Natives, where it's like if you watch the whole film, it was like one more time to Strathout, and he starts doing the pure. Can't remember. And then when he kickstarts that motorbike at the end, my God, is that good? But you've got to watch the whole film. Restless Natives, you'll be able to find it on the internet for free. But see when he kickstarts that motorbike at the end, don't sneak it. You've got to watch the whole film. But once you get to that bit where it's just like pure na 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 na, tons of Ebo work. Na 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 na. Na na na, fucking, and we're off, and it's fucking amazing. And the bit at the end of Local Hero makes me cry as well, where he's sitting there and he phones the police, the phone box that's on the pier, and he's sitting there in, I don't know, New York or wherever it's from, with a shell. He's just shells off the beach in his pocket. He's cleaning them with a toothbrush, and he opens the door, and it's just all the traffic and all that. And you just see the bit. Oh, I'm tearing up already. Yes, that's the sort of shit we want. That on it. It's like pure Scotland. What's Scotland? Oh no, it's we're fought back. Restless Natives, Local Hero. That's here. That's what we're all about. Oh. Oh no! They've got, if you look up Fields of Fire in the Barras, well, it's like you think you've seen a jumpy crowd. Give them a Highland fling done with electric guitars. With Fields of Fire. Yes, no, Big Country are fucking amazing. I don't know that much of their stuff though. And the Restless Natives one's one of those really weird ones. It sounds different in the film than it does on the album, but I've got the single and it's like pure. It's amazing. How's the electroacoustic coming along? I've not even touched it yet, Alexander, but I will do it. I'm going to, and I'll remember when I do the video, I'll do a video of me having it plugged into the amp, but standing outside so you can only hear what's coming through the amp. Big Country Guitars is selling signed Yamaha SGs. So, Scott, who I think's gone home, he worked with them one time, and it was the other guitar Stuart, not Stuart Abbottson, the other guy, because they both had Yamaha SGs, and he was sitting there, he was sitting up, and I was up here. It was just this guy, wearing a fleece and jeans and shit. Like, that's the fucking guy from Big Country, and he was coming. That's him, and he came in with this crappy gig bag, like what we would all have. He's got up here in his big bag, and he opened it up, and that was the fucking Yamaha SG, the one that's in the that pure good up, just that guitar, not just this model of guitar, that one, and it's just the guy's guitar. So he'd obviously put it in a bag because it was easy to carry in his back. Or mental. Texas. No, I heard horrible things about Texas. Texas was an absolute. Charlene Spiteri was apparently an absolute cow. Kept the band on a retainer. Wouldn't let them join the band properly. Just paid them per gig sort of thing. She was making millions. They were making £150 a night. So apparently she's a bitch. I don't really know that much about it. Mid-80s is all focused. Actually, I missed out on the MTV era. we never had MTV in the house. By the time I eventually got MTV was when everyone went digital, when you get like a Freeview box because you use it for TV. So I've got MTV, I'll be able to watch MTV videos, and there wasn't fucking any music on it at all. I even looked up the guide, it was all fucking Geordie Shore or something. It was like a reality shows. That was all that was on it. There was no music on MTV. The first time I had MTV, I was gutted. Old Lang Syne. Look up the original words along Old Lang Syne. That pure brought me to tears. I was in a coffee shop with my dad and somewhere in Pitlochry, somewhere around like that. It was like the actual words to Old Lang Syne. No, we'll take a cup of kindness yet. Oh, right, good Willie Wacht. That. All right. It's a bit different. It's 100 times better than the one that everyone knows. But I mean, yeah, no, the actual Burns one. There's two great Scottish poets born on the 25th of January. There's Robert Burns and me. Yes, because I'm St Andrew's Day or Burns Day is my birthday, so you can give me presents on Burns Day. I had a Yamaha SG 200. I had a 200 as well. Yes, awesome. Thin, not the thin like Les Pairs. Wish I'd never sold that. No, they were awesome. The only problem with the one I had, Scott's got one. He's got a white one, and it's fucking amazing. The one I had been stripped, and all the parts had been replaced with modern ones, and it had been like oil finished, and it was like, it was nice. But the problem I've got with the Yamaha SG is, see the shape of it. I'm used to the Washburn Wing, which is the prettiest guitar you can get. Even the most expensive Yamaha SG, something about the horns aren't as pretty as the Wing. The Wing is not saying it's a better guitar, I'm saying it's prettier. A lot has to be said about that. Pearly white finish, wow. It's not just pearly white, it's Japanese pearl. Someone mentioned that before. I was like, I can't remember which guitar it was. That's the Japanese, that's the famed Japanese pearl white in it. It's like pure. Well, that one there is. Apparently, nobody's ever been able to do it before or since. Only Japanese guitars. That's the pearl finish, which obviously you don't see in this video, but that is obviously it's got extra shit on it, but that is the proper Japanese pearl white finish, which you don't see in guitars now. I bet you Fujigen still make them. I bet you there's you can, if you go to the Fender website, you can buy a Fujigen for the same price as an American one that's got the Japanese pearl finish, which no one can ever copy. Oh, that's the best guitar ever. There's a guy, a jazz guy, who plays one of them, and it's his guitar. And it's the SG 200, which is like, I don't think it's not the cheapest one they ever did, but it's not the 2000. You know, it's like the old thing about having tons of binding. Binding costs money, right? It doesn't make the guitar sound better. The carved top costs money, doesn't make the guitar sound better. The SG is, the 200 is basically the same as the 2000, but much less fancy. But all the things that make it play and make a sound are identical. So it's like, do you really want fret markings and the fancy, or do you just want a really fucking good guitar? I did. The one I had was really heavy though, unfortunately. It's gone now, but that was a heavy guitar, and it to the point of just being too heavy, just slightly too much. If it had been white, I would have kept it. The one Scott's fucking amazing. It wasn't as good as his one, just because, you know, when you start getting that picky about it, wee little things matter. But yeah, I always wanted a Yamaha SG. It was one of those ones I never actually. The problem with the Yamaha SG, especially the 1500 and the 2000, everyone knows they were better than Gibsons when they came out, and everyone knows they were better than Gibsons when they came out. These people who were playing them weren't getting them free; they were buying them themselves, and they were buying the best guitar they could, and they're much better than Gibsons, and everyone knows they are. And even Gibson, the Yamaha, that's when you get things like that, which were a bit more under the radar. That's not so obviously. So that didn't cost the same as a Les Paul, whereas the SG 1500 and the 2000 were more expensive than a new Les Paul. The first time I played the guitar, first time I looked one up. Yeah, talk about love. I mean, that's these guitars. This is a see. I'm a wee bit down on this one a little bit since I got the Red Star because the Red Star is basically the same, but this is the fancy one. So this has got binding. That look at that top. You can see the grain and shit in it, and it's got got a proper licensed Floyd Rose and everything on it. This is the one Gary Moore played for out in the fields, and it's the best guitar in the world. It's just that the best guitar in the world, and it's as a new price, it was 3 times the price of the Red Star, and the build is the same. It's just that it's got different pickups and a more basic bridge, and doesn't have as much binding and isn't as pretty, but it's the same guitar. And for that reason, I kind of like the Red Star better because it doesn't have shit that doesn't make it play better. It's a cheaper guitar than this. This is a 530, an RG 530. It's an RG 140. The higher the number, the better. 140, 530. But I'm never selling that one. Never find another one. I've never seen another one for sale. Yeah. But I need to learn some big country. Someone else suggested something a minute ago that I wasn't listening. Mick Abrams from Jethro Tull. I don't. Mick Abrams was the guitarist who left before they did any stuff I'd heard of. I always went to see Jethro Tull at one point, and it was Mick Abrams, Jethro Tull. He was there before Tony Iommi replaced him for 2 weeks, which just happened to be at the time of the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus. So Tony Iommi was in Jethro Tull before Black Sabbath started in 1968, December 1968. He was in Jethro Tull for he went in, passed the audition, didn't like it, and said, it's not really for me. And they went, well, we've got this thing with the Rolling Stones. Do you want to just come in and do that? And then you can go. So he did that. So that's why Tony Iommi is in Jethro Tull on the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus, playing a left-handed Telecaster, Stratocaster like that. Then Martin Barr, yes. And I bought my wetsuit off the same guy that sold a wetsuit to Martin Barr. He's into ribs as well. Catch you later, Ian. Cheers. I'm nearly done anyway. I'm on the last swig of Bucky. We're almost getting to the what do you call it? The requests. What would you play in this? A strat like this? Something that I can play. It looks fucking great, doesn't it? It's got the middle position, which my white one doesn't have. If I knew any big country, I would play it. Right. I'm killing it. I was up. I basically last night I made garlic mushrooms, which is not the best thing ever. But I didn't sleep at all last night, and instead built a massive Scalextric set next door, like at 6 o'clock this morning, because I just couldn't get to sleep. The same thing happened on my first time I went to China. On the last night, I got garlic mushrooms, and like, oh, we're getting getting picked up by the taxi at 10 in the morning. Out for dinner, came back at 10 at night, and I just all night just sitting there like that. Garlic mushrooms, you're fucked. Rock on, Jack. Play the best song in the world. Well, eat your soul. Can remember the greatest song in the world. No, this is just a tribute. He's a proper tune. I don't know any proper tunes. I can't remember how you play that one. Who's better to play some Zeppelin? Baby, oh, I wanna leave. Leave you when the summer comes. Leave you when the summer comes around. Of you, come and get you hide me back home. Which it was not. I tried ending a Tina song. It was not Bush Southside. Not Bush City Limits. Talking about life on Sunday. Got me not Bush. Yes, I'm not Bush. Not Bush City Limits. Talking light in it. Probably I could probably play that without drums. That's not the right drums. 2 seconds. Left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day. But I never heard the good side of the country. Listen to the way things might have been. The wheels keep on turning. Family keep on. I can't remember the chords. Baby, I love you as often as I could have. I guess I can tell you I'm so happy that you're mine. Little things I could have said, little things I could have said and done. I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. I guess I could have told you I'm so happy that you're mine. Na 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 na. You topless all the time. Little things I could have said and done. Fucking, I'm shite. Can't remember it. Ah. I see a bad moon rising. I see a trouble up ahead. I find there's no good weather. I can't get hurricanes a thing. But I'll go out tonight. I'm bound to break a run. There's a bad moon on the rise. My God, being drunk and playing the guitar is really difficult. Cheers, Jez, and cheers for another $5. I'm going to buy something amazing with that money. It's going to be a Dan Electro of some sort, I think. Keep seeing guitars, but they're not the right one. I think it's the temptation. Since I know the artist is able to do this. It's like if you're buying a guitar, put this on, it's got to be better. You can't go wrong with these. Well, you can, as long as you're talking about up until the album where the rest of the band wanted to write songs, which is called Mardi Gras or Pendulum. Basically, Creedence Clearwater, eponymous album, awesome. Green River, Bayou Country. I'm missing one. Cosmos Factory. Oh, fuck yeah. Willie and the Poor Boys. All done in 2 years. Fucking amazing. But you can go wrong because then the rest of the band wanted to write songs and it's like you end up with a couple of good songs and some shite ones. I know. I'm ending on a jam. I've got Bucky. I'm ready to go. What's the rhythm like? Too fast. What is it? Oh, Susie Q. Oh, Susie Q. Oh, Susie Q. Babe of you. Susie Q. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine, baby, all the time? Susie Q. Susie Q. Oh, Susie Q. Oh, Susie, I love you, Susie Q. Oh, hospital. Still Standing, yeah. I wish I could remember how to play it. I'm Still Standing. Ooh, ooh, it's a good song. Playing the guitar is. The night is young. I'm not young anymore. But played some Neil Young. Alex, that's a good one. Like Hurricane. A minor. Na 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 G. Na 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 F. Na na na. Get yourself a loop pedal. Then E. Once I thought I saw her in a crowd. And then make her arse up and start again. In a crowded hazy bar. Once I thought I saw her in a crowded hazy bar, dancing on a dream from star to star. From the moment that we first kissed, the kind of moment that time just slips away beyond her on a foggy trip. I'd love to do an ABBA songs last night. I can't play it. Oh no. We can't find. We can't find. I can't find. I can't. I'm too drunk to play the guitar. It comes down to the ABBA songs I can play. There's not very many. They're all in D though, apparently. I remember we told that years ago. I don't know. Fuck it. I'm too drunk. But I could work out some. Yes. Is it sort of recognisable? It's not really good enough, is it? Though, is it? I used to be able to play ABBA kick ass totally. There's definitely a couple. I was like, I tried to play this. I remember I tried to play this. Like, when you're gone, when you're gone. One of the guitarists really died. No. It must have been one of the Aussie punk classy song. I should know it. Oh, right, one of the studio guys. Okay, aye. Farian, isn't it? Is he not the guy? No, that's Boney M. I'm thinking of. That's a bit of shit. I do. I mean, I've always had time for ABBA, to be honest. They've got some fucking. They're so good at musical bits, which I suppose if you're in a band and musical bits are the lot, but they've got musical bits. I mean, pretty much any ABBA song, anyone, talking even ones I've never heard before, any ABBA song is more musically interesting than everything Noel Gallagher's ever put together. Every song's got some bits where you go, oh, musical. Aussie punk lassie tune. I don't know what an Aussie punk lassie tune goes like. Hey Bjorn, we're just talking about ABBA. So your name's Bjorn. The Australian band would be. Oh, it's like, oh, that was fucking great. That's how good it is. I can sort of remember the riff. Take me to the park, take me to the country. Watch it, guys. Want to love me. Let it guys. Time to take it. They almost got a thingy. They almost got a Bucky caster. They were drinking Bucky on stage at the bars. I'd forgotten about it. I could have got a free ticket. They should have gone to Blitzkrieg shop and they should have been given. Honestly, they were just. I was just a fucking Tony. Just fuck. I don't care. Give them one there. Have a Bucky caster. But they are good. I do. Amel and the Sniffers. They're called. I don't know any other songs, but that song's fucking great. And to be honest, that's all it needs. I don't need an entire back catalogue of amazing music to like a band. If they do one song I like, they're fucking great. If they do something that moves me, any band does one song that moves me, they're above 99% of all the other music I've ever heard. Sometimes it takes a while to get to that stage where they've done something that I get. I don't know. I wish I could fucking learn a baby metal song. I mean, they're my favourite of the last. I still maintain the best album since. I mean, you can maybe point out ones to me, but Black Sabbath Sabotage is my favourite album of all time, 1975, that is. And then after that, I think the best album since then is the Baby Metal's first album, which is, it seems wrong. Bjorn, you're like, maybe it's because I'm an ABBA fan. I can't really play that much ABBA, but I mean, I'm a fucking fan. There is a band, no, is it the Bee Gees? So I really like the Bee Gees as well. They've got their stuff. I think I'm just out here. I'm going nowhere. Somebody help me out. You can't tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Music locked and we can't find, but it just has to time. But it is it's all right. You can see, you can look the other way. We can't touch that. We can't try to direct our man. You're the brother to me. You're the brother. You're staying alive. Staying alive. Everybody shaking and everybody shaking. You're staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. You're going nowhere. Somebody help ya. Did you know? I have heard that before as well, though. I mean, why not? Because is it not 180 or 182 BPM? That's why that song is like is it the human heart rate when it's going? I don't know. Yes, I'm going to give up. I've got to finish my bucky. Damn, there's two sips left in it. Try to think of something else crap I can play to fill out. Everyone's gone home anyway. What's crap and people wouldn't expect me to play? Is it really? Got to be F sharp, did it? No. Got my first real 6-string, but at the 5 and down. Until my fingers bled. Was the summer of '69. And when I get it through, the time it's gonna last forever. Those were the best days of mine. No use in complaining when the job to do. Spent my nights at the drive-in. That's when I met you. Standing on the camera's porch. The time will get to last forever. Those were the best days of all my perfect lamb. Oh, you go to the close. That's just and some guys from school got banned and we tried real hard. But we're not married. The time we got to back with come in and look at now. The time is gonna last forever. Forever, the last days are mine. I'm a fan of Bryan Adams. Bryan Adams was awesome. I went to see him once, just because my pals were going, fuck it, let's go in. It was fucking great. It was brilliant. How can you not like Bryan Adams? I wish I could remember the Poison. Oh fuck! Right, the last one, Poison. And the last time I played this was in a swing park in Shenzhen in China. It's definitely C sharp. Your cruel device, your lips like eyes. One look. Fuck off! I can't remember it. Your cruel device, your lips like eyes. Oh, fuck off. But the problem is Buckfast tonic wine gives you the confidence of playing something you actually know, but actually when you're drunk, I could totally play that sober. I totally could. I just can't remember what it goes like. Is it higher? I used to like playing Poisoner. You're cruel device. Your lips like eyes. I'm just in the wrong key. I'm one out. That's right, Friday. I don't know. For some reason, I've got so what's what is I feel like it plays Steve Earle, Copperhead Road, but I can't remember what it goes like. Ding ding diddle diddle ding ding diddle ding diddle 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 diddle. There's too many songs I used to be able to play that I can't play that I can't remember. I can when I'm sober, but I'm drunk, so I'm giving up. So thanks everyone for joining in. Cheers for the super chats, Jez. Again, I feel guilty about it, but not that guilty. But it's great. Thanks very much. And someone else sent me a super chat as well, which was fucking brilliant. Thanks everyone. So next Sunday, or during the week, Hunters are crap. I bet I have to do a Skeletrix video as well because the reason I'm a wee bit, well, I wasn't even late, but I bought another box of the fucking shit. Like, wow, I can't say no though. It's like I keep buying crap. I need to sell some stuff, but it's like it's all for the good of the track. I was up at Scott, as I said the other night, we're using the digital sports track, and then it was like someone was selling just in Bishopbriggs, which is 10 minutes drive away. It was like pure. It didn't say Skeletrix in the title. It just said car toy thing, and it was like 4 Formula One cars from the early 80s and 2 bits of track for a tenner. Or when I say 2 bits of track, I mean 2 whole tracks for a tenner. And you're like, what the? Well, I have to buy it, don't I? Yeah. And then, so next Sunday is my last one. So we'll have a week off. It's about the song From Any Which Way from Lose. I feel I know it, but I don't know it well enough. School's out. I can play a wee bit of that. This is a really fucking good guitar, though. I'm kind of forgetting I'm playing it. So I'm looking at it up here. What's that Mad Look Extract? It feels... Again, it comes down to the... Oh, God, I can totally... There was a time when I used to be able to play that as well. Oh. You gotta know when to hold them. Oh, when to fold them. Oh, when to run. Oh, when to run. Oh, when the time is urban, time enough for counting. When the devil comes around, I gotta know where to hold them. Know where to hold them. I can't remember it. Quite right. If it fucking how the School's Out's it's like one of the best songs ever written. How can that not appeal to every single person ever? Yeah. Got no teacher. We can't even think of a word to rhyme. You can't better fly. Can't teach you. I'm so down. Oh, that's I don't know. Oh, how far heaven. No, it's not next week. So next Sunday I'll still be here, but then the Sunday after I'll be off, and I will wing it up so I've got videos for every night of the week, so nobody knows that I'm away and comes and buys doesn't come and steal all my guitars. But I will set it up or something. I might even try some live broadcasts or something. I've never really done any videos from I'm going to fucking delete everything out my phone and take my GoPro and only film actual videos of us sitting at Camp Beverly Hills. If I meet Eyes for You and all the talk of that, just have some sort of thing. Helter Skelter, how that's fucking I have no idea how to play that. But I mean, how could it be? It's got to be E, doesn't it? When I go back to the top of the sky, I'm gonna go for you. Gonna get to the bottom and see you again. How you want me to love you. Running down faster than miles above you. You tell me the answer. You may be a lover, but you ain't no dancer. No, that's just a drunk person trying to play things that they don't know how to play. I've never played Helter Skelter in my life. But it's I mean, for me, an early on Beatles song, it was quite early on that I heard the White Album, and Helter Skelter totally did it for me. It's fucking great. I just wish the White Album was shorter and didn't have as much crap on it. Obviously, I'm talking about having the records of it. And I also, come on, but everybody's got something to hide except for me, my monkey. Oh, yeah. They're fucking great. It's just that every time I put it on, it seems to have hundreds of, it seems to be Revolution 9. Fuck off. That's not music. If you're going to do that, do what George Harrison did with All Things Must Pass, where you've got All Things Must Pass is a triple album, right? 3 records. The first 2 records are the album, and they're flawless start to finish fucking awesomeness. The third one, called Apple Jam, has a bit of a jam on it, and then it's got a bit where it says Johnny's birthday, which is a bit silly, and it's like, I can understand how it's there, but it doesn't flow well. Rocky Raccoon. Somewhere in the Black Hills on the Mount Harvard, probably there to look back. I'm sure that's A minor for some reason. When you were young and your heart was an open book, you used to say, live and let live. You know you did, you know you. I wish I could play it. Live and Let Die, favorite song ever, but I can't remember. There. When you were young and your heart was an open book, you used to say, live and let live. You know you did, you know you did, you know you did. But if there's ever a changing world in which we live in, make sure give it a try. So live and let die. Can't remember the chords. Live and let die. When you got a job to do, you gotta do it well. You gotta give it, fella. Yeah! Yeah, I'm gonna stop being drunk. It kind of works at parties, but some of you are sober. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. But yeah, I'm gonna have another go at learning Live and Let Die. It's been 10 years since the last time I tried to play it. I probably understand some of the chords now. But that's when I was a kid, I love to, been talking back to my first ever Walkman when I had the Beach Boys and the Shadows 20 Golden Greats on one tape, the Bond themes tape, and Talking Heads, We're on a Road to Nowhere, which I'm, what's it called? Little Creatures. I'm after crap fucking connection. We're on a road to nowhere, listen. We're on a road to nowhere. Come on and fire. On a side of nowhere. Na 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 na. On a side of nowhere. Na 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 na. Na na na. Na na na. We're on a road to nowhere. Not coming try. Doesn't the sound it's over. Not gonna found. It's the time it's on. Na 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 na. No, no, no. No, no, no. Yeah, no, I was playing Whiskey in the Jar there for a bit. Rock on, I'm going to go to bed and not make an arse of myself any further. If you didn't like, give me a like. Love you all. I'm pretty steaming. Have to have some tea. I was fucking up. I couldn't get sleep last night, so I'm basically on a 36-hour being awake shit thing going on. Rocket, love you all. Catch you later. And end.